How do you like your coffee? I'll take it decaf and in the morning, as that's what happened this morning as well, unfortunately. Not necessarily unfortunately, but I had plans this morning, so I wasn't home. So that's why the unfortunate part of that is we couldn't start watching the Penn State game live at high noon when the game actually began. So we're going to watch from the start, beginning now after I go through what I have to say here on YouTube of and of course, now that we're starting late, add on some technical difficulties with buffer disconnect and reconnect on top of it. So uh, today's going great, to say the least. But as I was saying, yeah, let me know in the comments below. How do you like your coffee? And as mentioned, yeah, decaf and in the morning, but really at any point in time during the day. But that's an ode to this past week's press conference with Penn State head football coach James Franklin asking the media, well, how do you like your coffee? Dark or basically like a smoothie with a lot of whipped cream and sugar. And then they caught on, and he was just playing some mind games with them, trying to get under their skin and, have some fun. As Penn State was gearing up since last weekend for Northwestern here today. Second road game in 3 weeks. Second noon, 11 a.m. local kick for the blue and white, I might add as well. But yeah, we'll get you on the road here momentarily. We're a good portion behind, I'd say. As I pre-taped the game, had it set to record on the DVR, as I knew I wasn't going to be home this morning. Just didn't know officially when I'd be back. Got home recently, and then in the meantime, getting everything finalized with this live stream, making sure everything was set straight, and then right off the bat, a buffer disconnect and reconnect. So, yeah, as mentioned, going great. Expect the worst, though. Hope for the best, and hopefully that's a blue and white win against Northwestern Wildcats on this final day of September. So hopefully everybody wakes up tomorrow. Yeah, we'll begin as I have it paused. They're about to kick off. Like I said, we're probably almost the full game behind, as it's almost 3 p.m. Eastern time here. So they're probably, I would have to think, at some point in time in the fourth quarter. I was hoping to begin this like right coming out of halftime. Still, of course, starting it from the beginning of the game, though, because you don't want to miss anything. Penn State's a 26.5 point favorite, over under at 47. Really care less if they cover or if that over under hits, just as long as the blue and white pick up another win here, heading into a bye week, I might add, before they get into the thick of the Big Ten schedule in a few short weeks. As of course, week 1 defeated West Virginia, week 2 defeated Delaware, went to Illinois and won 2 weeks ago in the first road game, whiteout last Saturday night, shutting out the Iowa Hawkeyes, and now back on the road in the state of Illinois, north of Champaign and Evanston, right out of Chi-Town in Chicago, to take on Northwestern. So Penn State's 4-0, Northwestern 2-2. Yeah, Penn State traveling Northwestern here today. Heard they passed a rat on the way out that someone left on the side of the road or dropped from the sky on their way back to Iowa City from last week's whiteout, I might add. So there's news for you there if you did not know. But yeah, just as always, thanks for tuning in. We're not live in the game, but we are live right here on YouTube right now. So thanks for tuning in and watching. These are going to be my college football, Penn State Northwestern live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube. We'll see when if we do it all, I highly doubt at this rate. Like I said, we're probably at some point in time in the fourth quarter right now, I'd have to think. I don't know what the score is. I don't know anything. I've stayed away from my phone best I could from, of course, people let me know, well, message me this, message me that, let alone notifications, and, all that jazz is, with technology nowadays, you can find out anything you want in a split second. But I'm old school, as old school gets. I can, stay off social media. I can stay off my phone if I need to. And one of those instances was from this morning until now. So the only thing I know is that I, once again, had this game set to record on the DVR, and we're going to pick up the action from the start. We're going to watch this game in its full entirety and see, how Penn State and Northwestern fare against one another here today. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. I believe so, because the description was giving me some issues as I was starting this stream as well. So there's another YouTube mishap. As everything was good to go, making sure everything's finalized and all that. Even though I'm behind technically in the game, we're live from the start. We'll hopefully, knock on wood, run smooth as we normally would from the get-go till the end of the ball game with 0-0s on the clock, with a winner and a loser. So believe the description is showing those links to social media, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look right now just to be sure. But it'd be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then of course YouTube. So yeah, they are. All right. I don't know why it was giving me that issue. It never has before. It's always something fucking new, I tell you what. It just absolutely blows my mind. It's always something, but we move on. I'll digress. So yeah, like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Red subscribe button, notification button next to it, live on YouTube, stay up to date. Thumbs up button. Please no spoilers, I might add in the comments, as I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, please no spoilers. I want to watch this game from the start and see what happened. As once again, I don't know. You can take my word on that. I'm not lying to anybody, or you don't need to believe me. I really don't give a shit. I don't know a damn thing that's happened in this game thus far. We are, in the meantime, watching Texas A&M and Arkansas, along with Florida and Kentucky and USC Colorado, though. And they have not shown any highlights because they've all been in the second half since I've turned them on. Highlights of other games, for that matter. So, I don't know a damn thing. As we're almost, by the time I get done reading everything and then hit play to start it, we're probably going to be a full 3 hours behind, I think. So, it's sort of be like a, kickoff to a 3:30 game, if you will. The only good thing about it is we're going to be able to fast forward through the commercials, fast forward through halftime, and keep playing football, get the show on the road, as I'm sure some of you are saying right now. But, both teams coming off wins last week. Penn State defeated Iowa 31-0 in the whiteout. Northwestern came back and won in overtime, defeating Minnesota 37-34. But yeah, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, share, hashtag college football, hashtag Penn State, hashtag Northwestern. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated, as well as this video, as always, is powered by both Rogue Energy and HopeKThrifts. First off, with Rogue Energy, be sure to get your favorite energy and hydration flavors in can or tub form, shakers, and Rogue Energy merch at the link in the description below. And be sure to use the code Luke, that's Luke, Luke123 for 10% off. HopeKThrifts, a secondhand resale shop that focuses on sustaining the environment in a cheap and fashionable way, as most items are $20 or less, include brands like American Eagle, Converse, Free People, and Shine, among others. As HopeKThrifts is found on Depop, Instagram, Macari, and Poshmark at HopeKThrifts. It's HopeKThrifts. So be sure to use the message seller code CheapThrifts CHEAPTHRIFTS, Cheap Thrifts, on the message seller code for 10% off. Link also in the description below. So, once again, we're a little bit behind because I wasn't home this morning, which, on a college football Saturday, especially for Penn State, as they're off next weekend. But today, wasn't home this morning, highly unusual, but had plans. But of course, that's okay. We're still going to watch this game from the start. I'd say, like I said, at this rate, we're close to 3 hours behind. It started at noon. It's almost 3 p.m. Eastern time. So they have to be in the fourth quarter at some point in time right now, I think. Who knows, though? We're live on YouTube, Big Ten Network as well once we get going. But yeah, another 11 a.m. local kick on the road for the Blue and White. Second time in 3 weeks. Of course, they went to Illinois, beat the Fighting Illini back in the state of Illinois, taking on Northwestern today. Penn State's 4-0. As mentioned, defeated Iowa 31-0 last week in the whiteout, whereas Northwestern, they're 2-2, 26.5-point dogs today after defeating Minnesota 37-34. In OT, their 2 wins are over UTEP and the Golden Gophers, losses to Rutgers and Duke. Of course, the Wildcats moving into a new era. David Braun, interim head coach for the time being. And this is, of course, all after their former head coach, Pat Fitzgerald, was fired over the summer back mid-July due to a hazing scandal. At least allegations of a hazing scandal in Evanston at Ryan Field, home of his alma mater in Northwestern. But he's no longer the head football coach as David Braun takes over. Now, Penn State practiced very quietly this past week to prepare for Northwestern. So talk about game day environments and back-to-back weeks. You go from the whiteout to maybe, 25,000 today. It's going to have that small town high school football feel to it. The grass is going to be pretty tall and pretty thick, though. That's just how Northwestern's field is. We'll see if they're going to continue with their renovation process in the future or not. I haven't heard anything about that recently, but before last year's Penn State Northwestern game, which was this very weekend last year, actually a year ago tomorrow, in the rain, Penn State won 17-7. Turnovers were an issue that day for both teams because of the weather. It was shortly before then Northwestern announced, well, they're going to renovate and technically build a new stadium on the same site of the current Ryan Field. But now Pat Fitzgerald's no longer there. He was a prodigal son, got him out of being a dumpster dweller in the Big Ten for the most part of time. Of course, back in '95, they went to the Rose Bowl. He was a captain on that team, was an assistant, and then, of course, got the head job after Gary Walker had a heart attack summer of 2006. So he was interim for that season, which included a game on this very date, September the 30th, live right here in Happy Valley at Penn State, as Nittany Lions won 33-7 that day. Penn State on September the 30th, I might add. They're 14-1 all time, including a win over Northwestern back in 06, as mentioned, along with 6 shutouts in those 15 games. The only loss was back in '95 to Wisconsin in a 17-9 game, in which the Badgers upset on the road a top 10 Penn State team. But of course, that was then, this is now. So yeah, come full circle. As mentioned, Pat Fitzgerald is no longer the head coach at Northwestern. It's David Braun, most recently an assistant FCS level at either North or South Dakota State, if I'm not mistaken. Defensive-minded guy, so he's going to fit right into the Big Ten. They've looked all right, but then they've looked pretty bad at times, so we'll see how they fare today. They normally play Penn State pretty tough, though, so give them that. That's why I think, this game probably will be a little closer than the experts think. We'll get more into the number game here in a minute, but Yeah, Penn State practiced very quietly this week to prepare for Northwestern. I'm sure Nittany Nation traveled extremely well, as they always do, regardless of where the game's at. Um, that's the thing right here in Pennsylvania. You got diehard football fans, whether that's Penn State, the Steelers, the Eagles, or anybody anywhere in between. It's live and breathe and die football from September to February. Um, but of course, in the meantime, let me know your comments, or let me know your predictions in the comments below for this game. And please, once again, no spoilers, as I'm behind in the start of this game. So, talk about some numbers. Penn State last week, as mentioned, 31-0 win against Iowa. It was their first shutout against a top 25 opponent since 1999, when they shut out the Texas A&M Aggies in the Alamo Bowl. They had the ball for 45 minutes and 27 seconds last week. It's absolutely absurd. And it's actually now, even though the NCAA doesn't keep record of time of possession in games, which I don't know why they don't, but they just don't. But Penn State had the ball for 45 of the 60 minutes. And that is now second all time ever in college football history, which you want to talk about absurd. That's absurd. Like, no wonder Iowa, didn't score any points. They didn't even have the fucking ball for more than 15 minutes, okay? They had 4 first downs and 4 turnovers, I might add. So, Penn State looked pretty damn good last week. But, of course, once again, that was then, this is now. It's still one game at a time. You move on. They're not playing Iowa again. They're playing Northwestern. And Northwestern, they normally play Penn State tough. So we'll see how close it is early before you would think Penn State pulls away late. Because I think, once again, this game is going to be a little closer than experts think. Penn State looking to score 30 straight for the 12th consecutive game. But Northwestern, in the meantime, they're giving up a Big Ten league worst record currently in 2023 with 185 yards given on the ground defensively, whereas Penn State offensively, they're second in the conference with 210 yards rushing per game. So basically, if Penn State can run the football, they'll be A-okay, I think, today. And then, as mentioned, turnovers were an issue last year in Penn State's 17-7 win because of the weather. Today, though, clear, sunny, 70-degree afternoon, but still, hopefully the turnovers doesn't happen again. Take your points when you can get them, especially on the road. Hopefully they can, have a lead and run the ball and work some clock and get out healthy and get into the bye week. But Penn State, yeah, they've scored in 28 straight quarters. That's the nation's longest streak, which dates back to officially the Rutgers game right before Thanksgiving last year. We'll see if they score 30 again here today or not. They've scored at least 30-plus points now in 11 consecutive games, which is also the nation's longest streak, I might add. And then they've also won 9 straight games of at least 14 points or more. Penn State, offensively, they have yet to trail this season, which is a little hard to believe. They've been tied a few times at the start of the game, let alone, once, the teams have scored, but they have yet to trail as we're about to enter October. And they still haven't turned the ball over yet offensively either. And they're the last team to be able to say that. Penn State's offense still does not have a turnover yet this season. Nobody else other than Penn State can say that, because Penn State's the last one standing in that regard. Everybody else has at least turned the ball over offensively once or more. And now defensively, they're plus 11 in the turnover margin. That's first in the country, I might add, as well. They're also leading the nation on total defense, only allowing 219 yards a game, and only giving up 8 points a game. And, getting the number of game once again there, 8 points, giving up on an average. That's a touchdown and a 2-point attempt for a successful try. That's it. That's pretty damn good with how this defense is played. That's how solid they are thus far. But long story short, basically, if they can run the football offensively, stop it on defense, get some turnovers, capitalize off those turnovers that they had. Once again, just play as they still need to cut back on the penalties. A clean game, get out healthy, get in the bye week 5-0. Of course, get the win first off, because that's all anybody ever remembers, because that's all that matters, whether you won or lost. So yeah, hopefully they can get to the bye week at 5-0. So yeah, long story short, run game on offense and forcing turnovers on defense, they should be able to win. So yeah, and then they're 14-1 all time on this date, September the 30th, which that's pretty damn good. I haven't come across a date in which they played, to my knowledge at least, to this point, and I've been watching Penn State football my whole life. Could be wrong. If I am, let me know in the comments below that, they've, been undefeated. I'm sure there's a date or two out there they just haven't played on in a long time, but win or lose, let alone draw, we are Penn State. So, of course, at halftime, we'll have some first half stats and scores. Really, today, though, since we're behind, 3 p.m. Eastern time now, so we are officially 3 hours behind. The game's probably about over with. College football game starts at noon, normally over by 3:30 at the latest, maybe 4 o'clock. But coming up at halftime, basically we'll just have some thoughts on the first half, as we always do. Add in some stats, fast forward, get to the second half. And then later on, we'll recap what we need to talk about and go from there. So I'll leave it at that. Hopefully we're eating some Chicago-style deep dish pizza later on tonight with a win. But look what the cat dragged in. We got Penn State and Northwestern on the Big Ten Network with Nittany Lions and the Wildcats. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live watch along reactions live right here on YouTube. So without any further ado, I'll shut the hell up and we'll get the show on the road. And in the meantime, Northwestern's on to kick off. So Penn State back deep to receive. And away we go. It'll be right to left, across your television screen, ready on all dial on the kickoff. So vice versa, reversed on the return, left to right across your television screen, ready on all dial. Yeah, a 73-degree sunny day as the crowd is still filing in. But in the meantime, here we go. Penn State, Northwestern on BTN, and Penn State will return it from inside the 5-yard line on a wobbly kick. Fumble. He was down. They're going to say Northwestern ball fucking 7 seconds in as Penn State coughs it up. That's still technically not a turnover on the offense. Plus 10 in the turnover margin, though. Because that, we'll see a replay here. He was fucking down. Now that ball's out. All right. So Penn State turns it over 7 seconds in on the opening kickoff on the return, and Northwestern recovers. And they'll have a 1st and 10 right about the 11-yard line. So they couldn't have asked for a better start against a top 10 team coming in their home field. Penn State moved up 6th overall now in the top 25. They've stayed at 7 from the start of the season. They're 4-0, of course, now 6th in the country. Northwestern at 2-2. We'll start out of the pistol and dump off. No gain on the play. And Abdul Carter makes the tackle. So technically, yeah, that turnover is not on the offense. It's going to be on the special teams unit on the return. Just a big hit. Crown of the helmet on the ball, jarring it loose. Looked like he was down, but he wasn't. And in Northwestern now, 2nd down and 11 from the 11. So basically they got another couple plays here to punch it in, or they're going to be kicking a field goal. And then Penn State if that's up and good, they'll trail for the first time all season right now. Minus a couple hours ago because we just started the game if you're just now tuning in. So we're going to watch this in its full entirety, though, from start to finish, one way or another. So thanks for tuning in and watching. 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats from the 8-yard line. Maybe a false start, yeah. Very quiet. Very, very quiet. 3rd and 7, make it 3rd and 12 on the false start. Back them up 5 yards. So, come on, defense. Can you at least get off the field, force a kick, let alone get a turnover yourself? They'll probably settle for 3 on that. 3rd and 12 from the 13. Almost picked off, but got caught, but a loss of a couple yards. So 4th down, Northwestern will kick the field goal. They'll bring special teams unit on and hope for an early 3-0 lead on top of the blue and white. Like I said, couldn't have asked for a better start for them. Not that great for Penn State. You know, you turn it over on the first fucking play of the game. On the kickoff, I might add. The offense didn't even try it on the field. Even though they were ready to go out, they didn't. They couldn't because they turned it over. 33-yard field goal from the near hash. It'll be up and good to the Northwestern tunnel. And with 12:47 to play in the opening quarter, Northwestern leads Penn State 3-0. So Penn State now has trailed for the first time all season, live right now. They're going to take a commercial break. We'll fast forward in the meantime, as we're on a little bit of a tape delay here. The game being taped, recorded on DVR once again, as I was not home this morning. So back from commercial break, Penn State will be back deep to receive the kickoff once more. 3-0 Northwestern, 12:47 to play in the first. And that stat, yeah, Penn State's first turnover and first time trailing all season thus far, right now. Which, 5th game, that's a little hard to believe. I mean, that's how careful they've been. That's how good they've been offensively and defensively. Still early, though. Still a lot of football up to be played. Northwestern on to kick off again. This will be a touchback, so no turnover on this return. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Penn State from the 25-yard line. And here comes number 15, Drew Aller at quarterback for the blue and white. He'll have Singleton and the fat man, Katron Allen, at tailback. We'll see here about receivers. They finally got the tight ends involved in the offense last week, thank God. Continue to go to them, of course, but it starts up front. You got to be able to run the football on the road. 1st and 10, blue and white, and Aller will hand off up the middle. And 3 yards in a cloud of dust in the Big Ten. That's what Singleton gets up the middle. 2nd and 7 coming up for Penn State. So we'll see how they respond. You know, first time all season trailing, got an injured Northwestern defender down. So they'll tend to him, and quiet, slow start as well. And they'll take another damn TV timeout here. As they fade to black, we'll fast forward. Get back to live TV at that point in time from earlier. So it's 3-0 Northwestern, and Penn State's got a 2nd and 7 coming up. Come on, guys. How do you respond? How do you get a drive going, as they had quite a few of those last week because they had the ball for 45 plus minutes, let alone the touchdown drives were long touchdown drives. 4 touchdown drives of more than 10 plays that chewed up a lot of clock. That pass caught Dante Cephas for about 6 yards, a transfer from Kent State. Now at Penn State, brings up a 3rd and 1. Run it, get the first down. Just keep the drive going, work the stick, keep it simple. You got to have balance, you got to have consistency. First 2 plays, there's balance there, 1 run, 1 pass, 3rd and yard. And they'll sneak it looks like. Yeah, push the pile. I don't know if you got it. Right there at the line. We'll see about the marker, and they will move it. All right. So, Penn State, first down. Just go get a field goal of your own. I get they had a short field, because of the turnover. But how do you respond? How do you capitalize off of that? Because you also got to play football here today too, just not them. So do you. Motion in the tight end. Aller looking to throw, dumps it off in the flat near side to Nick Singleton, who gets to about the 40-yard line or so for a pickup of 5. So 2nd down and medium here for Penn State. But yeah, just move the football, move downfield, get some points of your own. Hopefully it's, not like wait till the end of the game as they've been in a situation like that at Northwestern a few times before. They have to do something in order to win. 2nd and 4, a yard up the middle, 3rd and 3. That's why you got to have some rhythm. So they're pretty consistent right now. We'll see how they continue on from here. So I'll shut up and we'll see how they play. 3rd and 3 from the 42. Under 10 now to play in the opening quarter. Aller over the middle, incomplete, a little high, intended for Lambert Smith. Lucky that one didn't get picked off though, off the deflection. So 4th down, and Penn State will punt to begin the game. So not a good start for the blue and white. Fumble on the opening kickoff, and then they do get a first down, but then they go 3 and out afterwards, and here comes the punt unit. So Riley Thompson booms it to about the 18, where Northwestern signals for a fair catch at. So it'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats from there with 9:49 to play in the opening quarter. And once again, they'll go to commercial break. So we'll fast forward again and try to catch up as fast as we possibly can, which this game will be over when it's over. There's the Big Ten cross-country commercial with the map that will have to, of course, be expanded for next year with USC, UCLA, Oregon, Washington joining the conference, but we'll get there when we get there. In the meantime, Penn State, Northwestern, 3-0 Cats on top of the Nittany Lions. 1st and 10, officially from the 19, an empty set out of the gun. And pressure, should have been sacked. And Kobe King makes up for his overlook, gets back to him and takes him down. And it'll be a loss of 3. 2nd and 13, 2nd and long coming up. Some good coverage. Nobody was really open either. So, what could he do with the football other than, he didn't throw it away, but hold on to it. He did the latter and sacked. And a toss now far side. Penn State defensively. Kobe King once again right there to wrap him up. So be 3rd and extra long now for Northwestern's offense. So they get the early turnover, go backwards, though they still get a field goal. Penn State get a first down, then they punt. Northwestern going backwards on this drive already. So 3rd and 15 from the 14 for the Cats. Northwestern's got to go forward if they want to, have Penn State right where they want them at, which they've had them there a time or two. Hopefully not today, though. Bubble screen complete near side. And then Kalen King, along with Winston, and then Curtis Jacobs comes in to make the tackle as well to wrap them up. So 4th down, Northwestern, they'll punt. 8:14 and counting to play in this opening quarter. Penn State going to get the football back. So hopefully they can get a drive going. You know, it's still early, still a lot of ball left. But just, you know, go tie this game up, let alone take the lead. So, opening drive just stalled. You know, there's still a lot of ball left. They almost blocked the punt. And then from the 45 on the return, Saunders signals for a catch. So it'll be 1st and 10 Penn State from there. 7:47 to play in the first. Are they going to stick with it, or are we going to commercial break again? Looks like, yeah, I'll go to commercial break again. So we'll fast forward. There's Northwestern's entrance. Locked arm in arm with each other. Weird seeing Northwestern without Pat Fitzgerald as their head coach, I might say. But I mean, they suspended him, and then obviously the media, in their eyes, did their job and forced pressure, and as they do, and then, you know, act like they didn't do anything. University made a decision, and they fired him a few days later, and it is what it is. I mean, what can you say? Feel bad. We'll see, of course, you know, if they keep David Braun after this season, promote him from interim to full-time head coach as they did with Pat Fitzgerald, let alone, you know, go to the outside and bring somebody new in. They did add Skip Holtz, not Ryan Day's Lou Holtz, but Lou's son Skip, former college football head coach, and most recently in the USFL with the Birmingham Stallions. He got added to the coaching staff as an analyst. So his name might get brought up potentially. I think it probably wouldn't be a bad you know, gig for him, because he's had some success, you know, bouncing around, you know, some smaller programs in college football. But we'll see, you know, what direction they move forward in, you know, later on this year with the coaching carousel. Going to spin eventually. Technically, 2 Big Ten teams are going to be eyeing new head coaches, because Northwestern fired Pat Fitzgerald. They have David Braun as their interim right now, but then Michigan State just fired Mel Tucker. They sort of did the same thing Northwestern did. Suspension first, then a firing. With cause, for cause. He's going to sue, so he says. We'll see if they settle out of court or not. I would have to think so, yes. In the meantime, let me pause this, continue my thought before we catch up here in the last few plays and move on. Really, I think Michigan State's just trying to make up for their own mistake of, 1, hiring him because they never should have, in my eyes. 2, let alone extending him a few years ago. And this is a way to, you know, get out of having to pay him. Firing him for cause with $80 million left on his contract. So I would have to think, use that money, go and hire somebody. Michigan State, I would have to think, you know, going to want to make a splash in coaching hire. We'll see what Northwestern does, though. So, okay. We were 3-0 Northwestern on top of Penn State. They punted. We went to break again with 7:47 to play. Penn State had the ball, 45-yard line, moved now to the 39 of Northwestern, and currently have a 3rd and 4. But before then, they picked up 9, got a 2nd and 1, got a first down, and then got 6. It was 2nd and 4, incompletion on the last play. Now let's make it 3rd and 4, an empty set out of the gun for Penn State. Triple nickel to play in the opening quarter. Some motion back to the line of scrimmage and in the backfield. Tyler Warren and Nick Singleton. 3rd and 4, they'll run up the middle and be about a yard short. So 4th and 1, Penn State from the 36. We'll see what they decide to do here. They go for it, let alone kick a long field goal. Looks like they're going to stay out in offense and at least line up to go for it. Maybe try to draw them off sides. Bring some hogs in and run the wing tee. Yeah. So Aller under center. They got 15 seconds on the play clock. That's a false start. God damn it. Yep. Back them up 5. They'll definitely punt now. You're not going to go for it 4th and 6, around midfield, down 3, especially on the road. It's clearly a false start. They're just shooting themselves in the foot here early. They got to try not to do that, of course, but we'll see here what happens next. Oh, shit. 4th and 6 are still out there on offense to go for it. From the 41, empty set. You better fucking get this. Aller over the middle. Caught. First down, Nittany Lions. Dante Cephas with his 2nd catch of the afternoon already. All right. Yeah, that's a big first down on 4th and 6. Down to what? About the 25-yard line, yeah. 1st and 10 Penn State from there. Aller over the middle, dumps it off. And Singleton gets, should be enough for another Penn State first down. So back-to-back first downs, and now they got some rhythm built up, some momentum, knocking on the door. 1st and 10 at the 10, so they got 4 shots, secondly 1st and goal. 4 shots to punch this in. See if they, have to settle for 3 and tie it up with a field goal, or do take a lead and score a touchdown here. And Aller will hand off Singleton, and he'll get to the about 2.5, 3-yard line. Under 4, 2nd and goal. Down 3. At this rate, you got to punch it in. I mean, come on, guys. Keep running it. And if they stop you, you got to kick it, and so fucking be it. But, and credit to them, but just keep running here. Don't get special. Don't try to do anything, that other than the wing tee that you normally run in this situation that you want to do, or like no trick plays. Long story short, 2nd and goal, they'll run it. Stuff them, they'll gain them a play. 3rd and goal. Just don't do anything. I get you want to catch them off guard, but not right now. That's for something around midfield. When you have space. When you get to this point, the field gets shorter, and you don't have much room to work with. So 10th play, the drive coming up here, nearing 5 minutes. Hopefully it ends in points. 3rd and goal from the 3. And Aller, and his pass incomplete, 10 for Theo Johnson. So Penn State will have to kick a chip shot field goal here, about a 20-yard field goal attempt to tie it at 3 with 2:40 to play in the first quarter. Take your points. You already went for it on 4th down once on this drive. Probably shouldn't have the second time around, but they still did after the false start. 4th and 6, got the first down. Moved the ball, and now have to set up for 3. 20-yard field goal for Alex Falcons, and that kick will be up and good. So Penn State ties it at 3. 2:37 to play in the first. And, all right, just a little bit of a slow start. I get, 11 a.m. local kick. This probably would have been about, I'd say, close to 12:30. So 11:30 local time. So come back from break here. They give us a trivia question on the Big Ten Network. We'll pause it, read it, see if we can answer it. Go from there. Trivia time. Penn State. Nicholas Singleton has rushed for 17 touchdowns in his last 17 games. That's an average of 1 a game. All right. Who was the last Penn State player with 17 rushing touchdowns in a 17-game span? All right. I have some thoughts. I would have to think either Saquon, Evan Royster, Tony Hunt, or Larry Johnson. I wouldn't be surprised if you go back 30 years and it's Kashana Carter. So that was an 11-play scoring drive. Field goal ties it up 3-3. Northwestern on the return. And a good return out to about the 40-yard line. And they're still pushing and shoving. 1st and 10 Cats. And an injury. How about you give us the answer to the trivia question rather than go on commercial break for this injury timeout? It has to be one of those backs that I mentioned. Has to be. I mean, because it's not really going to be anybody, I think, from the past, few years, because in 20 and 21, they couldn't fucking run the football to save their goddamn fucking lives. It's pathetic. And that's why they were so damn, better and good last year, because they got back to running the football, and they're continuing into this year, which is a good thing. You got to be able to run the football if you want to fucking win. I don't care how many points you score. You got to have a running game. So it'll be interesting to see that answer to that trivia question. I don't think you go back any further than that. We'll see. But they stick with it. No answer just yet. If anybody knows, I'm in the comments. Your thoughts on that. Let alone if you know the answer from earlier, since you already watched and you're tuning in now. We're on a delay, but be 1st and 10 Northwestern as they get back to the action here from the 40-yard line. Out of the pistol. And a slant over the middle, incomplete. So, flag on the play in the meantime, 2nd and 10. And eligible man downfield, 5 yards. I'll replay it down, be 1st and 15. So 1st and 15 now, Northwestern from the 35. After the incompletion and the penalty. Fake the give, and then another sack. Down he goes. And Izzard, the lizard, slithers his way into the backfield and wraps him up. Be 2nd and a mile now for Northwestern. That's a hold in the meantime. And then they still got to him and wrapped him up. 2nd and 21 officially for Northwestern. Empty set. And over the middle it's caught. And Daquan Hardy trips him up. He's going to be about a yard short of the 1st down. So 3rd down and officially they say 2. Okay. Mark it as, 3rd and 2. About a minute and change to play in this opening quarter. From the 48, they need midfield for a first down. Out of the pistol. They're trying to get Penn State jump off sides on that. Handoff, and they get the first down. Move it 3 yards. They needed 2. Enough to move the 6. First down. Cats. Probably got one more play here in the first quarter. Northwestern, really no hurry. 1st and 10. About a 20-second differential between game clock and play clock. But by the time they snap this, game clock's under 40. Don't need to snap it unless they want to again. Which I doubt they would. Doubt they will. First and 10. They're on a jet sweep far side. Flag on the play, so clock's going to stop in that regard for the time being. Be 2nd and 12. But flag on the play. Dirty laundry is from the Zebras, and we'll go from there. And they say illegal formation on Northwestern. Penalties decline because they lost 2 yards, so rather than 1st and 15, Penn State would take the down. It'll be 2nd and 12 Northwestern. 13 seconds. They wind the clock now after the penalty. They don't have to snap it still unless they want to. And they won't. That does it for the first quarter. Penn State Northwestern tied at 3. And they'll have 2nd down from midfield when we come back to begin the second quarter. So they really don't have to, go that far to switch ends. Just, from one side of the 50 to the other. We fast forward, and we're about to begin the second quarter. It is 3-3. That's not good. They're deep in nearly every position, but as a rollout, throwaway, incomplete. 3rd down, Northwestern coming up. Penn State's offensive line, no doubt about it, is better than it's been this year. But they had injuries in the preseason. That's not good to see J.B. Nelson go down, getting carted off, I might add. Because he's already the backup, technically, at left guard. So, yeah, they had said so-and-so will probably come into play there. It'll probably be Oos. It'll probably be Vega Young, if I'd have to guess. Unless they want to shuffle the line and move some guys around. And then we'll see what the combination is then. Hopefully he's okay. Everyone wants anybody get hurt, let it on your own. Because they've stayed pretty healthy to this point. They have. We'll see. 4th down, and Northwestern's on the punt. Almost blocked again. Maybe they'll get to him eventually. Penn State fair catch from the 10-yard line. So 1st and 10, blue and white. From there, a minute in the second quarter. So we'll see what the offensive line looks like. Yeah, Norzad still at center. It'll be Vega Young at left guard. Here's the trivia question answer. Who was the last Penn State player? 17 rushing touchdowns, 17 game span. Oh shit! It was Trace McSorley at quarterback. So they catch off guard rather than a running back. Yeah, Penn State's had some good running quarterbacks in the past too. Penn State's not really known as a quarterback school though. That's why it's LBU. You know, Penn State's run the football and play good defense. So, Katron Allen for a couple yards, 2nd down and 5. So looks like Olu's at left tackle still. Oos will be at left guard. Norzad's at center. Maybe another flag. No. 2nd and 5. And then a handoff up the middle again. Got about 3, maybe 4 yards. So 3rd and short here for Penn State. No, then the right side of the line looks like Sal Wormley and Chocolate Thunder's kid in Nick Dawkins. 3rd and yard here for Penn State. Out of the wing tee, they'll run it near side, get the 1st down. All right, they moved the sticks. Of course, the fucking ball came out. I don't know if he was down or not. They're going to say he was down for the time being. We'll see a replay here. Okay, Penn State recovered at the end of it anyway. Northwestern's hitting them hard. They just punched the ball out there. Yeah. So they got the 1st down, but then a fumble, and then they recovered. So they still move the 6, 1st and 10. Can't be turning the ball over. We got a good one coming down to the wire, USC Colorado. Buffs just scored to cut it to 7. They're in the 4th quarter. As Drew Aller here in the 2nd quarter from earlier rolls out pass incomplete, 2nd and 10. It officially is 48-41, USC on top of Colorado. Yeah, they got lucky there. There wasn't a holding call. 2nd and 10, Penn State after the incompletion. 11:55 to play in the half. 3-3. Bubble screen complete. Saunders, loss of a yard. 3rd and 11. All right. Can you at least get a 1st down? Can you move the ball? You're going to have to punt. They get the ball back and try to do something themselves, or what the hell is going to happen here? We'll see. And as it's 3:30, almost 4 o'clock, yeah, this game's, I would have to think, officially over with at this point. So the more I think about it, we're not going to be able to update stats at halftime because those stats are going to be final. And I'd see the final score then at that point with those stats, which I don't want to until this game's over. So that's all going to have to wait until the end of the game now. Passing complete, 4th down, Penn State to punt. Tied at 3, Northwestern getting the ball back here. Both teams still all 3 timeouts, 11:15 to play in the 1st half. So still a lot of football left. We'll see what happens here. But, you know, low-scoring defense showdown here early. But as Riley Thompson's on to punt. And a return from about the 26. Good return to 40, 41. So Northwestern's had some good punt kickoff returns thus far here today. Penn State on the other side, nothing really today, let alone all season. There's a timeout on the field. We've taken a TV timeout with it. It looks to be the case. Looks so, yes. 3-3, another TV timeout here, and we'll fast forward again. Get back to the Big Ten Network. What was I saying? Well, Texas A&M beat Arkansas. Kentucky beat Florida, and USC is going to beat Colorado. Hopefully, Penn State beats Northwestern here. Cats will have a second down here coming up. We'll switch these, games around now. See what else we got on here at 3:30, 4 o'clock. But we're going to, meantime, catch up with Penn State Northwestern from earlier today. And a handoff for a first down. I was saying something as they went to break. For whatever reason, I don't remember. If it comes to me, well, it comes. But Colorado ain't coming anymore, even though they're here. They've lost 2 straight. They've met some big boys, if you will, on their schedule. Keep receipts. Well, 3-0 to 3-2 to end the month. Starting to go down rather than, continue up. They just hit a buzzsaw, with 2 good teams. They're good themselves. They fought back because they were losing pretty good. Think about it though. They very well could be 2-3 because they, probably should have lost Colorado State, but then they came back and beat them at home in double overtime a couple weeks ago. So they'll be okay. Fighting for clicks, fighting for wins. It's personal. Well, USC says fight on, and they also win. So, meantime, still 3-3 Penn State Northwestern, 2nd and 18, flag on the play. 9:19 to play in the half. But yeah, really just, we're not going to be able to update any stats until the end of the game. Just because, well, as this game's assumingly gone final itself, don't want to look, see a final score, see these final stats, so they pick up the flag, be 3rd down. Third and 16, so give me a hell yeah. Let's go defense, get the hell off the field. So, of course, go with the flow. Got to change some things up today just because of the situation with starting late. So, Northwestern out of the gun, 3rd and long from the 48. And he got set. All right. Dump off far side. Wrap him up. Tackle his ass. Oh, my God. 3rd and 16. They give up 17 and a first down. That should have been stopped after a couple yard gain. 4th down, they punt. But then you give up a first down like that. Jesus Christ. All right, from the 36, 1st and 10, Cats. And Penn State fucking jumps off sides now. So shoot yourselves in the foot a little bit more next time, why don't you? Good God. So free 5 yards, and they'll replay it down. Be 1st and 5 or the 1st and 10. From Penn State Northwestern, we stay in the Big Ten. It is Michigan, Nebraska now for a 3:30 kick. ESPN says bonus coverage right now from ESPNU with Northern Illinois and Toledo. What game that is supposed to be on ESPN ain't on right now? Oh, they just have college football scoreboard. Because LSU Ole Miss starts at 6. And then more SEC action with Alabama and Mississippi State at 9. So I'll flip through the channels rather than look at the scoreboard, and that's a hold. That is a fucking hold. Throw the flag. That pass is incomplete at the first down marker, 2nd and 10. Jesus Christ. Throw the fucking flag. That is a holding right in front of you. They're obviously letting them play. But good coverage by Carter, swatting it loose at the end of the play, and incomplete, 2nd and 10. But no, yeah, I'll have to flip through channels and see what other games are on live right now. We'll keep Michigan, Nebraska on for sure. That is on Fox, for anybody wondering. Northwestern, 2nd and 10. They get a 1st and goal now at the 2. When they pressured at a 2nd and 20, backed up because of the hold, but no flag. Move on. Here we go. 1st and goal. Now they're knocking on the door and probably going to extend their lead. And Penn State will trail here again here before too long. Son of a bitch. So we go from Big Ten Network on the DVR, catching up with this game, to Fox with Michigan, Nebraska. ESPN's just showing bonus coverage, jumping into this game, jumping into that game, as Northwestern be marked just short of the goal line. Didn't reach across that goal line, so to speak, for a touchdown. See a replay here. Yeah, he's down right there at the 1. Ball's the inch line, so yeah, he's short. He's 2nd and goal, Cats. They'll probably end up punching in here. Yeah. Penn State subbing defensively, so refs doing their job. Won't allow them to snap it until they sub. Penn State almost jumped offside. Northwestern sneaks it. Looks like he got in. And touchdown, they say. So touchdown Northwestern. They now lead Penn State 9-3 as we near halftime. 5:45 to play officially in the first half. Penn State going to get the ball back, though. Down as they were. Not as much, though, as it was earlier. It's more now. Still have 3 timeouts, though. So I think you'd be able to do something, get a good drive going, and go score. We'll see. No, but we're going to be watching Penn State Northwestern now, along with Michigan, Nebraska, really whatever the hell ESPN has on. And then we'll switch this one off of A&M Arkansas as that just wrapped up. Definitely don't want to watch Missouri and Vandy on the SC Network. We'll see what else we can find. So we'll flip through the channels here and see what the hell else is on. Really can't discuss with any stats and scores, recap or preview until the end of the game. We just can't, because I don't want to see a score until this game is officially over with. So fast forward, Northwestern's going to kick off. Penn State going to get the ball back. We also have the Deep South Souls rivalry with Georgia and Auburn on CBS right now. We'll put Kansas, Texas on over here in the Big 12. 2 unbeatens in the top 25. Yeah, that's actually today's question of the day on social media. So be sure to go vote on that poll if you haven't done so already. So we'll switch that over. See what else is on in the meantime. And of course, go from there. There we go with that. All right. Going to take another commercial break after the kickoff. 10-3 Northwestern on top of Penn State. 5:45 to play in the half. Of course, they show off Penn State's remaining schedule. We'll get there when we get there. I'm in no rush to talk about it. James Franklin talking with the refs, though. So it'll be Penn State, Northwestern, Michigan, Nebraska, ESPN, and then on ABC, it'll be Kansas and Texas. Penn State 1st and 10 from the 25. Handoff, fat man for 4 yards. Okay, so that was officially, whether it was offense, defense, or special teams with turnover stat. When entering today, it was known as only offense. But really, a turnover's turnover, one way or another. Penn State was the last team in all college football this season to turn the ball over. Happened on the opening kickoff today. They trailed as well. Trail again. Got a 3rd and 6 coming up. Out of the gun is Drew Aller. And he'll look to throw far side. Short hops it incomplete. So they'll punt. Northwestern going to get the ball back up 10-3 with 5:17 to play in the half and 3 timeouts. So they could probably do some damage right now if they want to. They do have Penn State probably right where they want them at, to be honest with you. Yeah. Really, I mean, there's nothing else on live right now at 3:30 anyway. So these are the games we're watching. Let alone if this game is on at 3:30, these are the channels that probably still have on with those games. So we'll just stick with it as it is. The one to follow, of course, Penn State Northwestern on the Big Ten Network is live right now, Indiana, Maryland. But we'll talk, more about college football later on. And then at a later date, that's officially when we're going to, probably next week sometime, with Penn State's bye week, get caught up to date to this point on everything that's happened thus far this season. Just because I know at times I've gotten a little bit behind in that regard. Show goes on, though. Of course, behind today, with the kickoff. But now, here as we near halftime, Northwestern after the Penn State punt. They have a 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. And it, sort of has been I'm not saying a tale of 2 quarters at this point, but a tale of, Northwestern still going backwards, yes. But you go from, Northwestern having momentum, an early 3-0 lead. Penn State took them a little while to, get going, score, tie it up at 3. And then it was pretty steady, and then Northwestern just scored. Penn State didn't do anything on the last drive. Northwestern got the ball back. So, we'll see here how the defense responds. They can get a stop, get a turnover, make up for the offensive turnover from earlier, even it out at plus 11 as it was entering the day in the turnover margin. That passing, complete 3rd down and long. Low on turnovers, and then turn those turnovers into points, capitalize and score. Because at times, when the game's been a lot closer than the score shows at that point in time, the final score, it does make a difference. The defense is stout, offense is scoring points, they're relying on special teams when they need to. So another injury. So I'd have to think, no doubt about it, this probably was like a long first half. We'll fast forward here again now. Really. One commercial and back to it. 3rd and 16. Give me a hell yeah again for Penn State's defense to get off the field. And they will. They'll wrap them up at the line. Gang tackle. After Chop Robinson hit him first. And then Johnny Dixon. And then seemingly everybody else on the defense takes him down. So 4th down. 4:09 and counting to play in the half. Northwestern a punt. Penn State getting the ball back. With now under 4 to play. Still 3 timeouts. Going to hope to at least cut this lead a little and tie it up going into halftime. Northwestern kicked off to begin the game, so they'll get the ball to begin the second half. Maybe the same thing happens with, okay, Penn State fumbled on the opening kickoff return of the game. Maybe Northwestern, you know, fumbles the opening kickoff of the second half as Penn State's punt unit almost blocks it once more. Saunders gets a couple yards on the return near side after not that great of a punt to begin with, but make it 1st and 10. Penn State now from the 37-yard line. They'll run it up the middle. Singleton for about 2 yards. 3:23 and counting to play in the half. You got 3 timeouts. You got to use the sideline. So be it. So your friend in the situation, get the hell out of bounds. Of course, I might add the new rule in college football: under 2 minutes to play in the half. Below the end of the game, get a first down. Clock's going to stop until they, let it roll and reset it. But 2nd and 9, about a minute away from that if we get there, and they're moving the ball. Lambert Smith tiptoes down the near sideline, gets a Penn State first down. We'll see where they mark him out at, but it'll be a first down for the blue and white regardless. Arguably one of their best plays I thought thus far this game. Just a simple crosser over the middle on an out route near side, and first down. So 37 Northwestern now, 1st and 10 Penn State. Allard dumps it off, and Singleton another first down. So that's another back-to-back first down, sequence that, of course, last time they had settled for 3. This time, don't settle for 3, kick the field goal. Or don't kick the field goal, score a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the 24. And they'll run it again up the middle. And Singleton lowers his shoulder, 8, maybe 9 yards, 2nd and short. That's the thing. You got to punch it in. You can't settle for 3 all the time. Yeah, take your points, but you just don't know when you're going to need them. When these two teams play, it's normally close. Penn State's blown them out a couple times, but it's normally close. The all-time series is 15-5 in favor of Penn State. Northwestern's won 2 straight a couple times in the game's history. But Penn State's, in the meantime, won 2 straight against the Cats. Last time Northwestern beat Penn State was 2015 on a game-winning field goal, I might add. So, 1st and 10, Penn State from the 13. We'll see what they do here. Got 3 receivers near side, not in a trips formation, but they hand off. That's Trey Potts, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State. He's come on strong late first half on the road in the state of Illinois. So INI, this game against Northwestern. He had a passing touchdown, now a rushing touchdown. Catches defense off guard there a little bit, makes a man miss on the cut, and into the end zone he goes. Touchdown. Yeah. And they'll kick the extra point, tie it up here at 10 with a $1:16 to play in this first half. And then we'll hit halftime. So extra points up and good. It is 10-10 Penn State Northwestern. All right. That was somewhat quick. The field goal drive should have been a touchdown drive. They'd have a 4-point lead right now. If they, score again as they just did. We'll fast forward once more. That was a 10-play, 5-minute field goal drive. That was, half of that in both regards. And they were able to move the ball with ease there and drive and score and respawn and tie it up. So 10-10, Penn State Northwestern, 1:16 to play in the half. So Big Ten Network will have their halftime report. Really, at this rate, I can only give you some thoughts. If there's going to be any at all, it seems like it's probably going to be tied here at 10. Just, keep doing what you're doing, really. just keep moving offensively, keep making stops defensively. Turnover or two would be nice. Good field position would be nice. Another sack would be nice right there. They take them down for the third time in the first half here. So second and long, Northwestern. We'll see if they call any of their timeouts here. Both teams have all three to use in the final minute 11. Penn State actually calls their first. So they're going to want to try to get the ball back again here before halftime, which is a smart decision. You know, I don't know if they're going to have any good field to work with to, you know, try to do anything or not. And once that, you know, comes, if it does. Quick commercial break again. 2nd and 16 after the sack. Northwestern quarterback keeper. And they trip him up. KJ Winston making some tackles today for sure for about a 3-yard gain. Another timeout. Penn State, it seems like. Third down and long coming up for Northwestern. Minute 4 to play. So, all right, they'll be okay, it seems like. Comfortable. Well, here we go again. Another quick commercial break after another timeout. And right back to it we go. Northwestern third down. After another Penn State timeout, they'll throw, and it'll be incomplete. Fourth down, so they get to keep their third and final timeout now. So a minute on the dot to play. Penn State's still got a timeout, but I was going to say they'd be comfortable with no timeouts, having to go the distance, you know, looking to score some points before halftime. Game sort of has switched. Penn State's got some momentum now on their side, it seems like, which is a good thing. So, you know, we'll see what they can do with it, if anything at all. But 4th and 14, Northwestern, maybe they block a punt here, you know. They've come close on how many fucking times already thus far in this first half, but boom, oh my, again. And then, well, he catches it, but he's out of bounds on the return at the 43-yard line. So they got one timeout, what, about 50 seconds, 54 seconds? And, you know, decent field to work with to, you know, I think at least be able to get in field goal range and take a 3-point, 13-10 lead at halftime, let alone a touchdown would be even better, because remember, Northwestern's getting the ball to begin the second half. We'll see here what happens, but 1st and 10, Penn State from the 45-yard line. And an empty set, tight end in motion, and Aller, pass complete, and then dropped by Lambert Smith. 2nd and 10, 50 seconds. So got a timeout. You sideline in this situation. It's your friend. You know, clock's going to stop if you get the first down inside of 2 minutes here. Anyways, as well, before they'll reset it and wind it. But 2nd and 10, Penn State from the 45-yard line. And Aller once again looking to throw. Gets hit. Falls on the strip sack fumble, so Penn State recovers, be third. We'll see if they say that's incomplete or a fumble and then a recovery for a loss of probably 5, 6. And yeah, that's a fumble. That is. So it'd be 3rd and long. Penn State on the recovery. Luckily, he fell on it. So 3rd and 19. Penn State goes their 3rd and final timeout as well to stop the clock. 44 seconds, unless in the meantime it would have been winding. So they still want to do something here, it seems like. We'll see if they do or not. I have a feeling they're going to come close, but they're going to come up just short. Let alone they don't do anything here on 3rd and 19. They run a fucking draw probably up the middle. And an empty set, so quarterback draw. You know, probably something checked down short over the middle. I mean, unless you give them time to throw, you can heave and get a first down. They'll probably have to punt. Yeah, dump off Theo Johnson. And he gets to about the original line of scrimmage. So 4th down, Penn State. Technically, they don't have to even snap it to punt. Clock can run out. Northwestern, meantime, they do have 3 timeouts, so they'd want the ball back. But I think they're okay in the meantime as well. was just letting it run. And we'll hit halftime at 10-10 with Penn State and Northwestern. And yeah, Northwestern will get the ball to begin the second half. 3, 2, 1, and halftime we go. 10-10. Penn State and Northwestern in the Big Ten. Northwestern has Penn State wherever they want them at. They do. They're going to get the ball to begin the second half as well. If this Penn State defense, though, can continue to make stops, 3 sacks already, more tackles for loss, turnover or 2 would be nice. Some good field, for the offense to start out with, sort of what they had there, but then they, couldn't do anything with it. Sort of went backwards. Northwestern's been going backwards. Still half ball to be played, so I think they're okay. I do. They just got to sync up a little bit better and more than they have. Momentum, it does feel like is on Penn State's side, though, right now, entering halftime. Tied at 10, even though Northwestern does have Penn State right where they want them at. I mean, they have a top 10 team at home tied at halftime. More efficient offensively, says James Franklin. Probably got to be more consistent around the football, too, yeah. We'll handle our business. We'll be good to go in the second half, he says. All right. We'll see. Yeah, continue to bring the pressure. That's what I'm saying. Turnover or 2. And then, points off of that turnover or 2. That's where we're at right now. At a 10-10 tie game at halftime with Penn State Northwestern. So, I'll pause it real quick. It says we're 2.5 hours behind because this is recorded for 4 hours because it is after 4 o'clock. It's 4:09 Eastern time. Of course it is. We are Penn State. And thank you to Joe Paul. But normally for halftime, we'd have 20 minutes. Normally for halftime, I'd have stats and scores. Well, today's not normal because we started late, and that's that. All right, wasn't home earlier this morning. Started it as soon as I possibly could. After I did get back home, as we were, about 3 hours behind, give or take. Really a fast first half though for us, an hour, on the dot, it seems like. Just about, yeah, it was about a little after 3. That's what, okay, fast forward through all the commercials will get you. But I'm just going to fast forward through this halftime. We'll get back to it here in a couple seconds, just because I don't want to look at any, stats or scores, let alone they're not going to be halftime stats and scores. They're going to be final scores, and then I'll see the final score. Unless this game's still going on, if it's still fucking tied at 10 or, just back and forth, and we got ourselves a ball game for all we know. I don't know. Like I said at the start, try my best to stay away from it and not know what the hell's, going on. And when I started this, I did not know a single thing with how this game was going, other than it was starting at high noon on the Big Ten Network. And I was going to, start this game from the start once I'd start the live stream. So here we are. And just as always, thanks for tuning in and watching. So we'll continue on, and then we'll talk more, college football in general later. But we'll update with a recap and a preview at the end of the game with final stats and scores at that point. But at halftime, yeah, Penn State tied with Northwestern at 10. They had a turnover lead to 3 points, unless they'd be up 3 right now, 10-7, let alone the field goal drive for them, to, respond, tied up at 3, should have been a touchdown. The other touchdown they had, they'd be up, 14-10, 11, 14-7 right now. Of course, don't turn the ball over defensively. Probably get 1 or 2 would be nice. Continue to bring pressure, though. more sacks, more tackles for loss, put them up against the wall, make them work for it. Northwestern, for the most part, has been going backwards all game. But they had a 3-0 lead, and then they were tied at 3, and then they had a 10-3 lead, and then they're tied at 10. So it's in their favor, but Penn State seemingly has momentum. Offensively, yeah. I get the turnovers on special teams on the opening kickoff return, leading to points, which ain't good. If you can get turnover and points off of that, that'd be good on your end. Might be the difference at the end of the game. For all we know, we'll see. But then, yeah, play calling could be a little bit better offensively. They got to find a more consistent running game. I've been saying that all season. They're balanced in the carries. They are. I can tell you that much just by watching. But they got to be more consistent with it. I get it's Big Ten football. It's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but they need to work the screen game into the offense. They got to get these tight ends more involved once again. They finally went to them last week, but back to square one and nothing. Credit the defense, though. They need somebody to step up at receiver for sure. But of course, in the meantime, Drew Aller's leading the charge offensively at quarterback. He's got to make plays. J.B. Nelson injured up front of the line, so couple spots they've shuffled around, it seems like, playing with a makeshift O-line here today. So even with that being said, they should still be able to run the football. The stat I mentioned earlier, Northwestern giving up a Big Ten league worst right now, 185 yards on the ground defensively, when Penn State is second offensively in the Big Ten with 210 yards rushing a game. So, like I said, run the football, make stops on defense, they should be able to, win just based off of that. Stats don't lie. Game 8, won on the final, stats and scores. It's the players that are creating those stats, because everything will add up, yeah, but it's always going to be one play here or there, really. When you look back on it, that was the difference in the game. And I'd say the difference right now, no doubt about it, is the Penn State turnover to Northwestern's 3 points. 3-0 lead. Penn State tied it up at 3. That should have been a touchdown drive. So that's really 7-3. They scored again. That's 14-3. Okay? Penn State's lucky the field goal wasn't a touchdown drive, though, for Northwestern. I'll give them that. But then they scored again. So like 14-10, 14-7, 14-3. It's 10-10, though, at halftime. So they just got to make some stops defensively. They got to get this return game going. That's nowhere to be found. Kickoff, punt return, nowhere. It's always a fair catch or maybe a couple yards, for a 5-yard average. If they can get the offense some good starting field position, it works out in their favor. Because the defense gets the hell off the field, which they have. They've made stops. 3 sacks, more tackles for loss. It's going to continue to make plays. It's a game of inches. It's a long game. It's only halftime, so we'll see, where we go from here in third and fourth quarter. But I think Penn State's going to be okay. Northwestern has them right where they want them at, but yeah, Northwestern came back and beat Minnesota in overtime after being down like 3 or 4 scores entering the fourth last week. But, Penn State's a more dominant and physical team than the Golden Gophers are right now, let alone, as Penn State's a top 10 team. Yeah, it's working in Northwestern's favor, as just mentioned. They're at home. Crowd's in it for the time being because they're tied. They're playing good. Look, last year, Northwestern had Ohio State right where they wanted them at. At home. Low-scoring game. And then the Buckeyes pulled away. Hoping for the Lions to do the same thing in the second half, and that's pull away in the third and fourth quarter. with a running game, work some clock, score some more points, of course. Care less if they cover, care less if the over-under hits. We'll see about 30 points a game, continuing or not. But just get out with a win, get out healthy, get into the bye week 5-0, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'll leave it at that for the time being. So, yeah, normally we'd have a full halftime report. I'm sure I've probably almost talked for 20 minutes here anyway now. But, like I said, today's not normal. Starting this game late. We're paused at halftime right now, 10-10, but we're going to hit play. We're going to move on and begin the second half. But once again, in the meantime, thanks for tuning in and watching my college football Penn State Northwestern live watch-along reactions live right here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Scroll down, check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram with the red subscribe button, notification button next to it live right here on YouTube. Thumbs up button, share, chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. Be sure to also go check out Rogue Energy and HopeKThrifts for 10% off. Links also in the description below. And it's 10-10 at halftime with Penn State Northwestern. So here we go. We'll fast forward through halftime. Big Ten Network will give their halftime report. Discuss everything else. Big Ten football for you. But in the meantime, Penn State's on to kick off. So just like that, we're starting the second half. And they say it's 4th and 8 with 15 minutes to play in the third quarter, which, of course, that's a typo. That's a technical difficulty that we also had at the start after, the day we've had. You have it or you don't. It's always something, but touchback on the kick and 1st and 10 Northwestern from the 25. What the fuck? Are they going to make him re-kick? As there's a report from the sideline. So, come on, boys. Come on, defense. Let's make some stops. So, I think they're going to make Penn State re-kick here. What the fuck happened? There was a misfire on the second half kick. So Penn State on to kick off again. Why don't you fucking catch him off guard now and fucking squib it onside it for 10 yards and recover it. But then if you don't, you give them a good field to do something. You still boom it away. All right, second half now officially underway. And Northwestern will get a return from the 4-yard line. We'll see what the difference is now. None. Touchback to the 25. Returns at 21 yards from the 4 to the 25. That's where Northwestern begins. So 1st and 10 Cats from there. From the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Penn State might have jumped off sides, but they let it slide. Now they snap it. Handoff, 2 yards. 2nd and 8. Michigan's on top of Nebraska right now. 14-0. And commercial break with Kansas and Texas, so don't know the score there. But those are what we're watching right now, along with getting caught up on this Penn State Northwestern game from earlier. 10-10. Oh, almost picked off the deflection, incomplete. 3rd down. Come on, defense. And Northwestern looking to throw near side, incomplete. Good coverage. 4th down, they'll punt about 40 seconds in to this second half. Penn State getting the ball, tied at 10. Maybe they block it here. Maybe they get a good return. No, and no. Of course not. So 1st and 10, Penn State. 14-11 to play in the third. It is tied 10 apiece with the Lions and Wildcats. I'm going to stick with it. Yep, here we go. 1st and 10, Penn State. Come on, boys. Let's get someone going offensively. They have momentum on their side. They can find a running game, though. 1st and 10 from the 32. Aller will hand off. And Singleton for about 4. 2nd down and 6. Second down, another handoff, and another 4-yard run. So 3rd and a long 2. They'll probably say 3rd and 3 coming up. But if you can chip away at it, eventually you should be able to break one, or at least get a decent game. And then we'll see. 1st down keeps up. They've had some good luck in that regard today. Be able to move sticks back to back to back. Singleton motions out, so an empty set, 3rd and 2. Your tight ends. Where are the receivers at to begin with? They do go to Tyler Warren at midfield, 1st and 10, Penn State. Incomplete, out of bounds. 2nd and 10. Second and 10. And no motion, everybody out, another empty set. From midfield, 2nd and 10. Quick pass on a slant. 10 for Cephas, incomplete. 3rd and 10. Come on. Come on, let's go. So 3rd and 10, tied at 10 with 10 seconds on the play clock. They get it off. Aller's pass, complete near side. Keandre Lambert-Smith inside the 30. Cuts back in at the 20, down to 15. 1st and 10, Penn State. All right. There's a good ball. And then some yak yards for one, for sure. You step out at all? No. All right. And the 1st and 10. And now 2 backs in the backfield. No motion, 1 out. Hand off to the other. And that is Nick Singleton. So 2nd and 9 here coming up. 11:40 to play in third. We're tied at 10. see what they do here. They finally went to tight end. Got a first down. I wouldn't mind going back to him. That's the thing, though, too. You got to find a running game and stick with it. Pump fake on the screen. Aller going to step up, tuck it and run inside the 10, down at the 6. Flag on the play. Probably coming back for a hold if I'd have to guess. Replay the down. They might get lucky on a defensive hold, though, in that regard. We'll see what the call is for the Zebras. Come on, Stripes. What do you got? During the run, got a hold on the defense. They take it. Automatic first down. Yep. Yeah, that's a clear penalty. Okay. It opened up the run, though, for him, to tuck it and run. So, first and goal, make it Penn State. Ball going to be half the distance from where they were. First and goal, Penn State again from the 3. Last time they were here on goal to go, they had to settle for 3. Got to score a touchdown. They sneak it out of the wing tee from the 3-yard line to get themselves 2 yards. Maybe. If they're lucky, 2 yards. They say a yard. Good to see Caden Wallace back out there out front of the line. I don't know about J.B. Nelson as he was carted off. But Oos is a reliable backup for him. Second and goal from the 2 out of the wing tee once again for Penn State. 10-10 and counting to play. We're tied at 10. They hand off to number 10, Nick Singleton. And no gain on the fucking play. Be third and goal, maybe a half yard, they say. Okay. But third and goal from inside the 5 for Penn State. Keep fucking running it. Punch it in, for God's sakes. I mean, take your points, but you shouldn't need to be settling for 3 here. Punch it in. Run it again. Fucking run it again on 4th down if you go for it. Third and goal, Penn State. They'll sneak it again up the middle. Drew Aller, he's in. Touchdown, Penn State. He's in. Come on. They're going to mark his ass down. At least the ref from the top of the screen can fucking see better from the line judge from the bottom of your screen coming from the near side. He had him off by a whole yard. Runner short of the goal line. They say 4th and goal. That's a fucking touchdown. Oh my God. 4th and goal. Hey, do it again. Do it again. Oh, now they're going to review it. Of course they are. So they'll think about it. Hopefully they tell us something good. 8:54 to play in the 3rd. That's a fucking touchdown. How fucking blind are you? At least the refs are laying the groundwork, keeping this game under control. Northwestern wanted to sub some guys in and bring out the equipment staff to get some players some high-quality HTO, but they're saying, no, get the fuck off the field. This play's under further review. That's a fucking touchdown. There isn't a clear shot of him in the end zone. But where he's at and where the ball would be at, that is a touchdown. It's just a pile, though. And that's the thing. They rolled him short, so they have to find an instant evidence to return it. Probably going to have it. It's probably going to stand as called before they go Penn State. You know, we'll see if they, end up going for it or not. Should. I'd say normally kick it, but they should go for this and fucking score. They need the touchdown if they don't overturn it now. Short of the goal line. Stands as called. 4th and goal. Fucking get out there and sneak it again. Shove it down their throat. Sneak it. 4th and goal from the inch line. You can't punch it in. You fucking kidding me? I mean, you have 5'6'5", 300 fucking 15 plus pound guys up front, plus a 6'5", 240 quarterback. You're telling me you can't score from the half-yard line, 4th and goal, Penn State once again out of the wing tee. And they'll sneak it again, and he's in for sure this time. Thank God they score. Touchdown Penn State with 8:40 to play in the third. They take their first lead of the afternoon, 16-10. As the nation traveled extremely well like they always do. A 1-yard touchdown run from 15 for 6. Even though he was in on the previous play, they said short. Didn't overturn it, still is called, just because that's the way it goes. But give it right to him. Keep punching him. You know, knock him down. And then you take a lead, 17-10, 8:40 to play in the third. Another 12-play, 5+ minute scoring drive. They're doing it in every which way they possibly can. So they'll take a commercial break here. We'll fast forward, get back to mid-third quarter here. Yeah, they took up another good half the court there, just like they did last week against Iowa coming out of halftime. You know, because Northwestern, they did receive, but they had the ball 40 seconds and punted. Penn State then went, 6 minutes or so and scored? And they show off the scoring drives, 17-10 down the lines. Yeah. Well, those are the last 3 drives. The 3 scoring drives. The field goal was 11-play, 5-minute drive. The touchdown was half of that for both. So like 5-6 plays, 2 minutes and change. And then another scoring drive for 6. Thank God they didn't have to settle for 3. Punch it in. 12 plays, 5 minutes again. So, come on, defense. Let's get some more stops here. From the 2 on the return, they wrap about 22. Dom DeLuca, number 0 on the tackle. So, 1st and 10, Northwestern. Turnover would be nice here defensively, I'm telling you. And if they can capitalize off of that with some points, be even better. So, 1st and 10, Northwestern once again, 8:35 to play here in the third. And out of the pistol, they'll work from the 22 right to left across your television screen. They're going to all down. Fucking delay a game. Thank you. Somebody finally blew the fucking whistle. 1st and 15 back to the 17 now for the Cats. And Northwestern looking to throw, pass incomplete. 2nd down. 2nd and long. Make it 15. They'll bring some pressure on this play. Yeah. And then they'll probably do it again on 3rd down. And I think one of these 2 plays they'll get to him again for another sack. We'll see. Maybe not. Pass incomplete. Good coverage. Good no call. I'm surprised they didn't throw the flag, though. Johnny Dixon on the coverage. 3rd and long for Northwestern. Yeah. I think they got away with one there. So 3rd down. And they'll man up on the trips near side. Looking to bring everything except kitchen sink. And and steps up in the pocket, runs. Another 3rd and long, and they give up a first down. Twice now. It's 3rd and 16, they give up 17. Guess what? 3rd and 15, they give up 16. First down, Northwestern. You gotta be kidding me. This defense, at times, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? They're going to have to crack down on that. Because if they don't, they're going to get, beat even more than they have on those 2 plays here today. They're going to review it again. Jesus Christ. It's either going to be 4th and short or 1st and 10. And then they'll probably still go for it if it's 4th down and 1 because, they're down, but there still is a lot of football to be played. So you'd think they'd, be smart about it and probably punt. But then if Penn State does something, then they're in a hole even more. And it's like, he's short on that, but then the ball's right there at the marker. So back to, where we started from a second ago on the Penn State touchdown that they said no on. You have to find indisputable evidence to return it. I mean, it's a game of inches. It's here and there. Whether he got it or not, he's clearly short on that, yeah. But then right there, that's close. They say he was down, actually. They overturn it, so it'd be 4th down Northwestern. So, make-up call, maybe? I don't know. What does Northwestern do now? Do they go for it? 7:47 to play in the 3rd, down 7? Right there. But then the ball's, that's what I'm saying, the ball's right there at the marker. It's hard to tell at times. And they will line up to go for it, 4th and a yard. Do not jump off sides. And they'll sneak it. Abdul Carter pulls a LeVar and jumps over the fucking line. And I don't think he got it. They stuffed him. Hell yeah, defense. That's Penn State ball, 1st and 10. They might bring Chang'e out for a measurement, though. That's a first down on that spot. He did not move. That's a turnover on downs. Thank you, 1st and 10 Penn State with good field position because the defense gets the hell off the field. All right, 32-yard line, 1st and 10 with 7:17 to play in the 3rd. And Big Ten Network freezes. What the fuck? Come on, no. Don't tell me it recorded to this point and then stopped. What the fuck? Now it just went black. Maybe they were having issues during the game, though, with the coverage of the game, though, too. I don't know. No, the fucking satellite just went out for whatever fucking reason. Jesus Christ. So it's going to reset here in a second. It should come back on. Give it a minute. And then I'll have to fucking get back into the DVR and... What I said, 7:17 to play in the 3rd. I don't want to fast forward too far. Don't want to be watching the whole first half again, though. Yeah, 7:17 after a 4th down stop. Penn State ball, 1st and 10. We'll get back to the action shortly. So once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button, share, chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciate it, even though I'm not really paying attention to those right now because I don't want any spoilers with anything going on in this game that I don't yet know about, because I'm watching it on a little bit of delay once again. So, what the fuck? I mean, come on. It shouldn't go out to begin with, let alone shouldn't be that long to, pop back up and start working again. Offense going to have to capitalize, though, off this good starting field position for sure. Yeah. 1st and 10, 32-yard line. Score some more points here. Well, I'll take a field goal. I'll take a touchdown. You know, extend your lead, make it a 2-score game. You know, put the pressure on them. You have momentum on your side. And then it's the run game. It's, can you run the football and work clock and, you know, get out healthy and get out with a win. So in the meantime, we'll watch a little bit of these other games ongoing. Can't even look up any other scores because I don't want to see the Penn State score. That's what we're in a little bit of a tricky situation today, and not normal with not watching this game live from the start, watching on delay a couple hours afterwards. So I don't want to know anything until I, you know, watch it all, and then we'll, like I said, go from there. So 21-0 though, Michigan on top of Nebraska, which ain't that much of a surprise, but Nebraska, after a slow start, they've now won 2 in a row. Getting beat right now. Go back to that, you know, Nebraska-Colorado game, because Colorado just lost, you know. They had a hot start, and then they stumbled because they've run into some good teams. And really could have one more loss. You think about it, like I said, all right, now we're back to it. It'll take me to as it takes me back to live TV, brings up ESPN because it knows me so well with my TV, knows what channel I want on 9 times out of 10. Yeah, so from Penn State Northwestern to USC winning, to Kentucky winning, to Texas A&M winning, to still watching this Penn State Northwestern game, to Michigan now beating Nebraska, ESPN in a scoreboard situation with no game on live right now, waiting the next game at 6 o'clock, currently showing Deion Sanders' press conference because, well, wanted to see what he has to say after another loss. And then we're watching Kansas and Texas in a good one, Big 12 and top 25. But meantime, we're going to resume and get back to Penn State Northwestern here. Oh, come on. No. Oh, shit. It's going to take me back to the fucking first quarter. All right, I got to fast forward. But 7:17 to play in the third quarter. Penn State defensively gets 4th down stop. So the first and 10 at the 32-yard line. So, all right. We got a ways to go here before we get back to it. I hit resume. I don't know why it took me back to early 3-3 first quarter, but it did. It's fucking technology, man. It's good, but it also sucks when you need to be good. It's always something, too. It doesn't fucking matter the, you know, time. But it's always something. Alright, like I said, I don't want to fast forward too much, so I'm keeping it slow and steady here. We'll get to 7:17 in the third here in a second. With, technically, it's going to say for a 4-hour recording, for about a 3.5 hour game, I take it from earlier, unless it's still on for all we know. I'm smart though, I taped what was on afterwards, just in case, you never know, an overrun. We're gonna have about 2 hours left in this recording, it looks like. There's the 4th down stop. Yep, that's Penn State ball, 1st and 10. And as they said, Penn State ball, 1st down, that's where they stopped it at with 7:17 to play in the third. 1st and 10, blue and white, up 7:17 to 10. So 1st and 10 from the 32. We'll move on. We'll be done before this hour 51 officially, comes to an end, unless the game, went over, which I don't know if it or not. I doubt it though. Back after this with the timeout on the field, 7:17 to play in the third, 17-10 Penn State. We'll fast forward here again. But really, it was like an hour first half because, fast forward through all the commercials. Beef. That's what's for dinner. Katron Allen on the sideline, so he's banged up. That's not good. So that's probably why Potts is getting some more playing time today. There with Singleton. 1st and 10, Penn State, officially from the 31.5-yard line of Northwestern after the 4th down stop. Handoff, Singleton. Ooh, boom, big hit. But a 3-yard run in the meantime. 2nd down and 7 coming up for Penn State. Katron was limping, jogging a little bit. He was holding his stomach. Maybe he's not feeling good. Hopefully he's not injured. They do have the bye week, though, next week to get healthy. So dump off on the screen. Singleton going to get most of the workload now. But, they have Trey Potts, who transferred in from Minnesota, behind him. So, of course, he, scored one of the 2 touchdowns earlier today, too, I might add. So, they're okay. Just keep it simple. Balance, consistency. Just run the football, work clock. You have a lead. You're on the road. Injuries are starting to pile up. Score some more points, yeah, but as Aller looks to throw, 3rd and 8, nope. Incomplete, 4th down. They'll have to kick a field goal. At least they can get some points with off this good field position. But yeah, he's going to have to, make some plays with his arm, maybe with his legs. I mean, he scored the other touchdown too. Just have to move the ball more than fucking 2 yards. Yeah, they got to be more consistent. It's too all over the place, too up and down, too out of whack. Falcons 47-yarder. About 6 minutes to play in the third. Kick's going to be up, and kick's going to be good. All right, 20-10 Penn State. On top of Northwestern. They've now scored 10 unanswered after halftime. Really 17 unanswered, though, to take a 20-10 lead, because remember, they're down 10-3. Good from about 50. So 20-10 to the Lions, 6:03 to play in the third. We'll fast forward through this commercial break again. I don't like doing this, but I'm doing this so we can, continue to move on. Penn State kicks off. Wasn't home this morning, and something came up that really couldn't pass up. And so, late start, but we're still watching the game in its full entirety. That's all that matters. It's not like I got on, it's halftime, what's the score? Did my best, and did excellent job at it, because I didn't know a damn thing. I still don't know a damn thing with everything that's happened, other than what I've known to this point. And it's 20-10 Penn State with 6:03 to play as they kick off and their touchback. So 1st and 10 Northwestern from the 25. And fake on the run. It's a fucking hold. They almost sack him still anyway. Throwaway out of bounds, incomplete. 2nd down. Yeah, that's on intentional grounding. I don't know how you can say intentional grounding when he still threw it fucking 20 yards downfield and out of bounds anyway, whether he's in or outside of the pocket to begin with. Like, intentional grounding is with, of course, a tackle box, whether you were in or out, but the ball didn't make it back to the line of scrimmage and there's nobody in the area. 2nd and 10 from the 25. And a pass far side caught, and then Jacobs right there to bring him down. 3rd and 4. Come on, defense. Let's get the hell off the field again here. Trips in a bunch near side, but it is an empty set, so all 5 wide. Out of the gun, 3rd and 4. They'll motion the back into block form. Look like a 5, 4, 3. They get it off. Penn State bringing pressure. Quick pass. Because of the pressure, they get to him. It falls incomplete. 4th down. Northwestern to punt. So Northwestern's had what? 3 drives this 3rd quarter in 10 minutes, and maybe officially like a total of 2 minutes with the ball. Whereas, okay, Penn State scored 10 points, but really haven't had the ball, a hell of a lot longer. Northwestern's going to run a fake punt on 4th and 4, and no. I don't mind them going for the fake punt. That caught me off guard. Didn't catch Penn State off guard, though. They're right there to wrap them up. I mean, they might have blocked the punt, if you would have kicked it. I mean, they've come close how many times? Seemingly every punt so far today. But then they run a fake punt. They got to get something going their way. So, yeah, good play call. You got to give them credit. But then they're, boom, right there to stop them. And now back with, a 7-point lead, make it 10-point lead. And back to good starting field position. Rather 32-yard line, it'll be 35-yard line. Coming out of break here. 1st and 10, Penn State up 10, 20-10. Yeah. Run it. Run the damn ball. And they will. Singleton for 4, maybe 5 yards. I'll show a replay here of the fake punt, snapping to the up back. Yep. And, yeah, he was a yard short. I thought he got it at first, and then I had to lean back and look at it, and no, he was short. So 3 yards, they say, for Singleton, 2nd and 7. So, okay, their line of scrimmage is 34-yard line, not 35. 3 yards, 2nd and 7, 31, rather than 4. Another handoff, Singleton bounces it far side, 1st down inside the red zone at the 15. And when they enter the red zone, sponsored by Del Grosso's, best sauce on earth, they've had pretty damn good luck scoring points. 95% chance they'll score once they enter the red zone. Whether that's field goal or a touchdown, that's points. So let's score again here, boys. 1st and 10 from the 15. Fake the toss, step up, pump fake, dump it off on the screen. Singleton maybe 3 yards out of bounds. All right, 2nd down. I don't know why the hell the big dog's barking and howling his ass off, but probably the goddamn fucking neighbors. But 2nd and 8. As they motion in some signals. We'll see if Penn State dabs on Northwestern here for 6. Handoff, Trey Potts to the 8 for 5. Make it 2nd and 3. 3rd, a long 3. Make it 3rd and 4 with 3:13 and counting to play in this 3rd quarter. Can they punch it in, or are they going to have to settle for 3 again? 23-10, 27-10. I mean, shit, right now, it's already a 2-score game. You're up 10. I mean, kick a field goal, though, you're still 2-score game. They need 2 touchdowns to come back and take a lead. Touchdowns, 3-score game. You're up 17. Even more pressure on them. We'll see what happens here on 3rd and 4th if they end up going for it on 4th down then or not. Well, I'm not even going to have to worry about that because that's a 1st and goal inside the 5. Yep. So I was going to say, I don't know what the hell's up my ass. Probably because, starting late and pissed off I haven't watched this game from the start, which I technically have but wasn't live, but we move on. But more so than not, probably pissed off with some technical difficulties on my end before we began, and then more technical difficulties right after we started. Knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen again. But, okay, rather handoff Singleton down to 1. Would normally, say kick it. But today it's rather than, okay, just fucking go for it. You should be able to punch it in and score, for God's sakes. 2nd goal from the 1. Michigan just scored again. 2nd and goal, Penn State. From the 2. Minute and a half and counting to play. Aller going to be up under center. Maybe an end around here. Or no, they'll push him. No sneak. Fake the give to Potts. Roll out. Singleton. Touchdown, Penn State. Make it 26-27 with the extra points up and good to 10 on top of Northwestern. 1-2-3 to play in the 3rd. And now they've scored technically 16. Hopefully make it 17 unanswered since halftime. All in the 3rd quarter, of course, but 23-24 unanswered after being down 10-3. And then they're on the cusp of, another 30-point game. So that's the thing with their scoring drives. I mean, they've had a little bit of mixture of both today. 10, 11, 12 plays for 5+ minutes, and they've scored points. The other drive's been 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 plays in 2-3 minutes, and they've also scored points. So they worked the screen game there. I mean, simple rollout on a play action, but still to a running back in the flat. He's wide ass open in the end zone. I mean, you couldn't get much more wide open than that. And Penn State scores again, so it's 27-10 now in Nittany Lions, and they're starting to pull away with another full quarter to go. So we'll see what happens in this final 16-24, and then go from there. Northwestern is going to be hosting Howard next week. Penn State on a bye week before they host UMass. But a touchback on the kick, 1st and 10, catch from the 25-yard line. So, okay, the stat would be now Penn State offensively. They still haven't turned it over. The turnover was on special teams. They've turned it over only once, though, all season on offense, plus 10 in the turnover margin to this point with another quarter to play. But Drew Aller still hasn't thrown an interception. Okay? So he's been efficient. He's been, calm, cool, and collected. He's been poised in the pocket. He's had some throwaways. He's had some drops. They need some guys to step up at receiver. They need to get the tight ends more involved. They need to work the screen game more. Of course, run the football some more to help them out and all that. Deep ball Northwestern incomplete near side. But, he's been pressured. I don't think he's been rattled, though. He hasn't necessarily, been hit a lot, which is a good thing. We'll see if we get Bo Papul in this game at all or not. He's, good in his own right, more so not in the run game. A bulkier Trace McSorley, the pride of York, as they call him. 2nd and 10, Northwestern. Slide to the 30, and then they all trip and fall. But 3rd down and 5 coming up, minute to play in the 3rd quarter. They've played smart football. They've shot themselves in the foot a couple times, no doubt about it. They've cut down on the penalties today, though. It does seem like we'll see those final numbers later. 3rd and 6 officially Northwestern here. And then a slant caught, 1st down. So they moved the ball, get a 1st down, 41-yard line. And another injury. He's slow to get up. Northwestern's had a lot of those today, to say the least. But hopefully they're all okay because you never want to see them get hurt. Penn State's had a couple guys go down too. I don't know necessarily it'd be, they're cramping up because of the weather, because it is nice out, and all this weather is going to be coming east. It's going to be nice all next week, live right here in Happy Valley, 70s, maybe 80, a couple day or two. Of course, Penn State's on a bye before homecoming in 2 weeks, but it's a first down, and then he gets injured on the play, but they've played basic, fundamentally sound football. They have. To an extent. But they've, regardless whether they're doing this, that, anything in between, they've done enough to be better than their opponent and win football games. And that's all that matters. Okay? Because that's all anybody ever remembers at the end of the day, whether you won or lost. 1st and 10 Northwestern after the first down. 26 seconds to play here in the third quarter. They trail by 17. It's 27-10. From the 40. And pressure. He throws it away. Almost picked off. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're throwing a fucking roughing the passer. No fucking way. Go back to the fucking safari. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on Penn State's defense, on Cam Miller after he almost picked it off. Did he say something? He wasn't showboating or anything like that. He made a play on the ball. Oh, he threw the ball back in Northwestern's face on their sideline. So penalties are split at 4 apiece right now for a total of 48 yards. Automatic first down. See, that shit has to stop. They know fucking better not to be doing that. As long as you're still fucking winning, though, I guess that's all that matters. You still don't want to be playing like that, though. I get you want to play cocky at times. You don't want to get too cocky, though, because look, Colorado, for instance, okay? Look at the U back in '86. They showed up in fucking Army fatigue for the national title game, and yeah, Penn State put it to them. End of the third quarter, in the meantime, 27-10. Like, you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. You don't want to get too full of yourself, for that matter. You want to, just, lay back and relax and take it as it comes. I get you got to be aggressive, though. You got to be playing your game, trying to at least, which they have been now. So 1st and 10 Northwestern from the 28. They'll hand off, missed tackle, and then they finally wrap them up. Elsden, along with Kalen King, twin brother Kobe, who had a couple big stops earlier today, but really haven't heard from him since. As they're saying, Northwestern, they overcame a 21-point deficit last week against Minnesota, which they were down that entering the fourth quarter. They're down 17 entering the fourth quarter today. It's 27-10, early fourth quarter, Penn State up, bubble screen complete near side, tackle his ass, oh my God. And then Don DeLuca finally brings them down inside the 10, so Northwestern 1st and goal, knocking on the door. Come on, defense. You can't be fucking missing tackles left and right like that. And then almost a third one, but luckily they were towards out of bounds and they were able just to wrap them up and push them out. Open field, he's cutting left and right and making you miss, and exactly what just fucking happened. That's the other thing defensively. They give up too many missed tackles. And a rollout, complete, and no. And that's not a pick play. That's just a good block. Right there as he caught it. Maybe a couple more yards downfield than should have been, but these refs will let him play. They have. I mean, they've called obvious, but, you know, here and there they might have missed a few or called something they shouldn't have. Just the name of the game, though. You know it's going to fucking happen. You just got to play through it. You know, and if you can, you know, maintain your stability, you know, maintain, as Northwestern's got a 2nd and goal here from the 4. They'll fake it on around, roll out, caught at the 1, back on a tight end screen, 3rd and goal from there. You know, maintain your composure, you know, keep it cool, calm and collective. You know, once again, don't get too full of yourself. Don't let them get in your head. Don't let them make you do something you don't want to. You know, don't get peer pressured into doing, you know, this or that. 3rd and goal from the 1. Come on, defense. Let's make a stop. 12:30 to play. 27-10 Penn State. And now they'll get up under center out of the eye. And a fake the give. Down he goes. Zane Durant. He never saw him coming. Now he's hurt. Hell, Zane Durant could have fucking walked from Orlando, where he's from, to Evanston and still sacked him on that play. That was a big hit, too. Down he went. Hopefully he's okay. I think he landed awkwardly on his shoulder. Or maybe his back, and they're holding his right shoulder, maybe a collarbone. It was out of the eye, fake the give. If he was going to roll out and hit a play action, I don't know if there's anybody open or not. Might have got lucky, but untouched up the middle, Zane Durant at D tackle takes him down on the sack, and I believe that's the 4th sack by the Penn State defense today on Northwestern, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not like this is his first hit. You know, he's been hit, you know, time and time again today. And that one's probably just the biggest of them all, and, you know, slow to get up, and he probably won't come back in. But from the Big Ten commercial to 4th down for Northwestern, 12-12 to play. They will attempt a field goal here on 4th and goal. 28 yards. Kicks up and good. It's back to a 2-score game. 27-13 Penn State. So Penn State going to get the ball back. I hope they can run the football. Work some clock here. Fast forward, get back to it. Maybe score again here. You know, Penn State on the return from the 1. And it's probably coming back, even though Daquan Hardy got to the 20. But yeah, we'll see if that 30-point threshold hits or not. Just win. I don't really care if that does or not. Just win. Flag on the play. What's the call? No foul. They pick it up. That's the 2nd time they picked up the flag today. That's, you know, a little unusual. You know, very rarely we get 1 flag picked up a game. Today we've gotten 2. So the quarterback's walking off under his own power with a trainer, but they're going to the locker room. Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Penn State back out on offense, so 1st and 10 from the 20. As they picked up the flag, so 19-yard return, 1st and 10. Run the goddamn ball. 11:54 to play, you're up 14. Aller going to roll out. Complete. And that is Keandre Lambert-Smith for Penn State 1st down. Move the sticks. Clock continues to roll because he stayed in bounds. Run the football. I'm telling you, run the goddamn ball. And fake the run again. He's going to throw near side. Incomplete, intended for Dante Cephas. 11:22 to play, second and 10 after the incompletion. See, he's had throws like that. He short hops them or just a little too, much juice on them, too much zip, or, they're too wide. But at some point in time, he's only putting the ball where his receivers can get it at. Back to he hasn't thrown an interception yet. So whether it's for, this and the completions to attempts, a lot of yardage or not a lot of yardage, to touchdowns, not a lot of touchdowns, it's basic, it's simple, it's all going to add up. But that's the thing with the running game. Say your prayers, 11-11 and counting the play, 3rd and 8. Can you get a first down? Can you, move the ball more than 2 yards, work some fucking clock with a lead, for God's sakes? Third and 8. And Aller gonna throw again. That pass incomplete. Intended for Cephas again. Good coverage by Northwestern. Why the fuck are you throwing the ball, as many times as you just did there on that drive? Can't even work the run game in? Jesus Christ. You gotta rely on this fucking defense making them fucking stop for him. That hit him right in the hands and then bobbled it and dropped it. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So Penn State will punt. After what? Not even having the ball for a minute and a half? Thompson booms it away. Fair catch, Northwestern at the 16. 10:28 to play, but they're going to be having their backup quarterback now in the ball game. As, of course, in the last offensive snap they had, Zane Durant took him down on the sack. Injured. Penn State fucking 3 and out. Minute and a half later, Northwestern gets the ball back. So we'll fast forward, get back to it. And Northwestern 1st and 10 officially from the 16-yard line. It's a 14-point game, 27-13 with 10:28 to play. Both teams, all 3 timeouts remaining. Screen complete. They wrap him up right away. KJ Winston having himself a day. Another tackle. Brandon Sullivan is now your starting quarterback after Bryant went out with an injury. So we'll see if Frazier or the Mummy can wrap him up. 2nd and 9. Penn State with more pressure. That's a hold. That is a fucking hold, and they still get to him. Forced throwaway. Incomplete. 3rd and 9. Throw the fucking flag, for God's sakes. Jesus Christ. Questionable return for their starting quarterback. So 9:52 to play, down 14. He ain't coming back. Wish him well. Hopefully he's okay, but he ain't coming back in this game at least. It's going to be their backup quarterback. Penn State needs to be Sully's Mike Wazowski. Come on, boys. 3, 2, 1. It's a delay game. Where's the fucking flag for that? Thank you. Jesus Christ, refs. Or do they call timeout? Yeah, they called a fucking timeout. Of course they did. And they'll take a full media timeout, so commercial break. We'll fast forward and get back to the action once again shortly. 27-13, 9:52 to play. 3rd down, Northwestern. Show off the AP poll. Northwestern 3rd 9 from the 17. Fumble on the snap. And then they sack him even though he gets back to the line of scrimmage. We'll see how they count that, credit it as a sack or tackle for loss or a half-yard run and a normal tackle or what. technically a 2-yard gain, they say, somehow, fucking some way. 4th and 7. But they'll punt, so Penn State's getting the ball back. Hey, back square one. Can you run the fucking football and work some clock and get out with a win, for God's sakes? Jesus Christ. Block a punt finally. No, they'll hold back. Oh, fucking. I think he kicked somebody in the back with the ball. Penn State, damn good starting field position again in this second half. It's like the third, fourth time that's happened there and gone their way. From the 40-yard line, Penn State should have it 1st and 10. Yeah, I think he kicked it in the back of his fucking, almost in the back of his head on the helmet of his up back. And that's a fucking just shank. So it is 1st and 10, Penn State. 9:11 to play. Ball should be around the 40-yard line, give or take. They have a 14-point, 27-13 lead. Yeah, 1st and 10, Penn State from the 40. Run the goddamn ball. Aller's looking to throw. Good God. Going deep in the end zone, though, for the Thunder. And taking out a cameraman in the process. And Dante Cephas bobbles it. Incomplete as he was going down. So, all right, they take a shot. The first time all day they've done that. 2nd down. He had it. And then, went down. He was out of bounds by that point anyway. I don't think it would have been a touchdown anyway, whether he caught it or not. And then he, ended up dropping and it fell incomplete. So, 3rd down and about 8. 3rd and 8 now. That's Joe Hermit from Penn Live getting run over in the end zone by Dante Cephas. 3rd and 8 for Penn State. From the 38, Singleton's going to motion out, so an empty set now. Here comes a throw. Jesus Christ. Over the middle, caught Lambert Smith. All right, 1st down, Penn State. Work the run game in now, okay? I get Fat Man's hurt, but Singleton, Potts has looked all right. Simple slant over the middle. Lambert Smith on the catch. They're going to throw again. Why are you throwing the fucking football? Oh, my God. And, well, Omari Evans intended. Incomplete. And he takes out a fucking cameraman as well in the back of the end zone. Who's next getting run over? Boop. Second and goal from the 25. 8:05 to play. But why are you throwing the ball? Incompletions are stopping the clock. You have a lead. Run the goddamn fucking football. Handoff. Thank you. 5 yards for Singleton. 3rd and medium coming up. 7-5-7 and counting. Would like to have the Fat Man from the 7-5-7 in the ball game right now, but he's hurt. They just went to Lambert Smith. He's from that area as well. They're actually both from Norfolk. Fat Man played at IMG down in Orlando, though. Both Nittany Lions, so that's all that matters. But, yeah, they went to him earlier, got a 1st down. A couple more yards, but a 3rd and 6 coming up. Empty set. Maybe quarterback draw. They're going to fucking throw again. And Liam Clifford makes the catch right at the sticks. 1st and 10. Run the football. Oh, my God. At least run a fucking screen. You don't need to be throwing fucking 50 yards downfield when you're up 14 in the middle of the 4th quarter. We're not playing to add up stats. We're playing to win. Quarterback draw. Aller gonna tuck it and run. No flag. Oh, fuck it. God damn it. This is coming back for a hold. I fucking jinxed them. Yeah, 10 yards, replay the down. Would be what? 2nd and 2? Be 1st and 20 now? Jesus Christ. Yeah, on Wormley. Fucking clotheslining him to the ground. And then had another hold in front of him, so. First and 20, Penn State back of the 24. Another empty set. Can you at least work the play clock? They snapped it with fucking 11 seconds. Dump off on a tight end screen. Theo did earlier. Tyler Warren, catcher too, but they need to go to these tight ends more. But I don't get why the fuck are they throwing the football with a 14-point lead with 6 minutes and 9 seconds and counting to play. You have the ball 2nd and 18 because of the penalty back at the 22-yard line. But, I mean, come on. Run the goddamn ball. Aller looking to throw again. Rolling out. And it's caught. Tyler Warren going to make a few men miss down inside the 10 at the 7.5, 8-yard line, looks like. 3rd and short coming up for Penn State. Can they get a first down? Can they keep this drive going? Can they work some more clock? Can they eventually punch it in? Or are they going to have to settle for 3 here? And then, okay, they get the 30. We're looking at a similar score from a couple of weeks ago at Illinois. Maybe the final score when Penn State plays at Illinois or at Northwestern this year, it's just going to be 30-13. I don't know. 3rd and 3, 5:20 and counting to play. Can you get a first down? Handoff, Singleton. And he will. 1st and goal, Penn State at the 3-yard line. Can you punch it in now? And this won't be running up the score, Neil Brown, if Penn State's running the fucking football up the middle and the defense can't fucking stop them. They'll go hurry up. Why, I don't know. But 1st and goal, Aller quarterback draw. And he gets about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. All right, 2nd and goal. They'll mark him down at the 1 officially. Run it. Keep running it. Let's punch it in. Yeah, work this fucking clock. Work it. Drain it. I'll say hi to your mom later. 2nd and goal. Out of the wing tee, they'll run it with Singleton far side, and he's in. Touchdown, Penn State again. 33-13, extra point to come. They've cracked 30 again here today. We'll get into all those numbers later, though. With 4:09 to play, Penn State scores once more. And that should about do it, even though game sort of has been out of reach. It's been all Penn State in the second half. They've pulled away. They were down 3-0, trailing for the first time all season. Tied it at 3. A 12-play, 5-minute scoring drive again. There's a trend if you haven't noticed, okay? Extra points up and good, 34-13. They're consistent in that regard. They are. They got to be more consistent running the football. Why the fuck they were throwing as much as they were on that last drive beats the hell out of me. We'll see what, James Franklin has to say in his post-game presser, other than saying at the start, as always, thank you for coming out and supporting Penn State football, as he always does. But coming back from break, it's 34-13. Penn State's now officially scored in 32 straight quarters, which is every quarter today. 12 straight games now with 30-plus points. Both of those are the longest active streaks currently in college football. 9 straight, probably make it 10 straight wins with a 14-plus point victory, or margin of victory, excuse me. 34-13 right now, so yeah, do the math. But we'll get more into all those numbers later. But no, they were down 3-0, trailing for the first time. Then they tie it up at 3. And remember, Northwestern's 3 was off a Penn State turnover. Their first 3, at least. Second 3, well, because the quarterback got hurt. And they have a touchdown in between. Or else they have 10 points, let alone less. At 13, Penn State with 34. It's not golf. They're controlling the clock, I might add, as well. Somehow, some way, they fucking had another 5-minute scoring drive. They're throwing it seemingly every fucking play. They almost get him on the sack. And did he step out before he threw it? I don't know. They say incomplete. 2nd and 10, 4 minutes on the dot to play. 34-13 Penn State. But, yeah, they had some adversity here in this game, I'd say. They trailed, turned the ball over for the first time as well. Coming back. Northwestern had them right where they want them at, seemingly at halftime, 10-10. But then it's been all Penn State in the second half. Defense making plays. Offense with some more points. Penn State just jumped off sides, still shooting themselves in the foot, though, I see, with more penalties. They need to clean that up. They really do. They got to play smarter than that. And then the run game just has to be consistent. 2nd and 5. And, yeah, I don't understand the play calling with all that. Why are you throwing to the lead? Keaton Ellis pushes them out of bounds. First down, Northwestern now. As currently, they're losing the turnover battle. That led to 3 Northwestern points. Because defensively, they haven't, got turnover yet. Which they didn't against West Virginia either. Got bulk of them. Down he goes on their sack. Who was that? Zariah Fisher, 36 from Equipment. They just picked up a recruit from that very school the other day, I might add as well. Don't want to get into any logistics with that in the meantime, though, just because of recruiting. But 2nd and 17, we'll see. Penn State 11 tackles for loss today and about 4 sacks. That pass incomplete. Penn State wanted an offensive pass interference when luckily, they didn't throw a flag for defensive pass interference, but now there is a flag on the play. I think Penn State's arguing, why the fuck you throwing the flag? That's not PI. Getting hot. .305 to play, another flag on a deep ball. Maybe give them a first down here. They going to pick it up again? Pass interference on the offense. Penalties decline because of the incompletion. 4th down. Northwestern to punt. Penn State getting the ball back. And hell, they're doing all this unanswered scoring in the second half without calling a timeout. And they're going to get the ball back and work the clock and get out with a win. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, right in front of Franklin and the ref. And, how the hell you don't throw a flag on that beats me, but then they finally do. Quarterback keeper. Another 3rd and long, and they give up a first down. Jesus Christ. 3rd and 16, they give up 17. 3rd and 15, they give up 16. 3rd and 17, they just give up 18 there. 1st and 10. Jesus Christ. They got to clean that up, too. They still got a lot of work to do. But, no doubt about it, you're taking this road win. Picked off. Well, backtrack to what I just said a second ago. Daquan Hardy on the interception return. Pushed out about the 30-yard line. They're even now in the turnover margin today. They're back to plus 11 on the season. We'll see if they capitalize with any points off of this. Probably not, though, because there's 2:26 to play. You're up 34-13, for God's sakes. It's a 3-score game. You're not going to want to, you want to say run up the score. Who the fuck was he throwing to? But if they don't stop you, that's a different story. If you run it, they don't stop you. But even with a short field, you run it. whether they stop you or not. I mean, you want to score again? I don't know. From the 30, 1st and 10. Just get out healthy here. For Buell, and he's looking to throw down the middle. Wide open. Trey Potts. Touchdown, Penn State. Holy shit. Waste no fucking time with the backups. Saying, fuck the running game with a lead. They're throwing. Shit. All right. I was not expecting that. Well, because I didn't know Perpula was in until he got the snap, stepped up, stepped back, and then wide open as Potts coming out of the backfield, down the seam, wide open, caught it, touchdown. Trey Potts, 2 touchdowns a day. So stir some more, 40-13. Extra points up in good, 41-13 Penn State. 2:20 to play. That was a 1-play, 6-second touchdown drive. So I guess he can throw. He's been more of a runner, though, than he's been a passer. But a couple passing touchdowns now for him and some garbage time so far this season. And then backups in, you get healthy, you get some rest, got a bye week next week. You host UMass in 2 weeks. Then you go to Ohio State. So leave it at that. But that's not a fake knee. Well, maybe it is, I guess. He wasn't down, though. And then he, threw to a wide open man and caught it, touchdown. Maybe they are running the score up on him. Don't want to think that, let alone say it, even though I just did both. Hopefully it's not true. That's just not good sportsmanship. But nowadays in football, you got to get some quality wins, with some, points being scored in your favor. It's called pedal to the metal for a reason. Karma is a bitch, though, so hopefully in due time it doesn't come back to bite him in the ass. That's all I'll say. So, I mean, shit, they've scored 30 plus now, once again, in 12 consecutive games. They've scored 40 now, twice already this season. Came close on a couple others. They've left points off the board for sure, but defense getting after them. 2-yard run, 2nd and 8, 2:14 to play. So I could probably get these stats ready to name off. 2 minutes to play now. We'll wait. I'll just wait for it to load. That was the one issue. For whatever reason, shit wasn't connecting earlier. And then it did buffer and disconnect and reconnect. And we've been fine since. Like I said, it's always fucking something. That's what was pissing me off, because I knew I was late. And it just, it's always something. 3rd and 7. 3-yard gain, but they're looking pretty damn good. They are. The thing is, though, they still have, you'd hope, the best in front of them, because damn well they still have tougher opponents in front of them. It ain't going to get any easier. The 3 crossover games in the Big Ten, though, are going to be done and over with. From Illinois to Iowa to Northwestern. Still have one more non-conference game, just about the schedule shook out this year. Bye week next week. But then everybody else is going to be in Big Ten East play. Minute to play, 1st and 10 Northwestern. Let's see what the defense does here. Hold the score. Don't give them any more points. Stop the run. Jesus Christ. Oh, boom, big hit. I was going to say another missed tackle, but Ellis drops him. 2nd and 10. 2nd down, excuse me. About a 4-second differential between the game clock and play clock. And a whistle and a timeout. And an injured Penn Stater, Keaton Ellis, down. So they're going to have to be charged with a timeout with that just because it's late in the game. My shoulder still hurts from last week, for anybody wondering. But second and 2 here for the Cats, who will drop to 2-3. Penn State will get to 5-0. We'll get it figured out, and they did. Yeah, he was right. It's called Wake the Fuck Up. You know, drink some coffee. 10-second runoff. Why is there a 10-second runoff? There shouldn't be, and now there's no. I don't know why they announced that. Penn State with pressure and a pump fake. And I don't know if he got the first down, but he got out of bounds. They'll mark him out right at the marker, though, it looks like. Northwestern still got 2 timeouts, 21 seconds. We'll see what they do here. Down 41-13. Wish them well. You know, they're in a, transition phase. They were here for Penn State when we needed them back in 2012. So Penn State's, at least in my eyes, I don't know about all Nation, but going to be there for, Northwestern with what recently they've gone through. Just like I said, weird seeing Northwestern team over the past, 20 years not being coached by Pat Fitzgerald. But 3, 2, 1, Penn State beats Northwestern 41-13. I end this game officially probably 2 hours after officially got over with. It's 5:30 Eastern time. There's post-game handshakes. Good game. It's Penn State's 10th consecutive win by at least 10 plus points, which is the wrong stat. It's the 10th straight game that they've won by at least 14 plus points or more. They've scored 30 now in they've scored 32 consecutive quarters. They've scored at least 30 points in 12 consecutive games as well. And a post-game interview with James Franklin. 41-13 is your final score. One turnover, they made up for it. Players mocking them, giving them some bunny ears, a wet willy or two. Yeah, they were able to get in a rhythm. He's right. 11 tackles for loss. I think 4 or 5 sacks. I mean, this defense can be special if they keep it up. I mean, hell, they already are. I see a certain former quarterback behind them there. Played on Thursday night, the other night. Hell of a win last week for sure. I mean, hell of the start of the season. They're 5-0 from the 2nd to the 9th, the 16th to 23rd. Here are the 30th. They got a bye week now next week. And then another non-conference game, UMass for homecoming, and then they go to Ohio State. That's when it gets interesting. They got a lot to clean up still. They do. It's the penalties offensively and defensively. They've been good in the turnover margin. It's got to be a better, more consistent running game, though, because the defense is getting there. You know, they controlled the clock again today. They were able to score on scoring drives of 10, 11, 12 plays for 5+ minutes or more, let alone, quick 1-play touchdown drives or, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 plays for like 2, maybe 3-minute touchdown drives. As they take us to the studio, so 38 minutes left. Yeah, this game got over about 2 hours ago. And I'm just now wrapping it up after a late start. So, want to say thank you for tuning in and watching on the delay with myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohen Luke 96, as Penn State defeats Northwestern officially 41-13, your final score. So, in the meantime, we can pull up some stats now and finally look at these. We're gonna save and hold off on scores from around the country and the rest of college football from this week, let alone a preview for next week, and getting a recap of everything that's happened thus far this season to this point until next week. With Penn State on a bye week, we'll still have content, so stay tuned for that. But Penn State with a 41-13 win at Northwestern here today. They're 5-0, technically 3-0 now in the conference. They obviously drank a lot of coffee at halftime to get them going and, scoring all the points they did in third and fourth quarter and, 41-13 victory over the Wildcats. Northwestern, as mentioned, as Penn State's 5-0. They fall to 2-3. We'll have to see about time of possession. Like I said, though, they controlled that pretty well. We'll pull up all the stats here in a second as it loads. They took the points, as they could get them, there to start. Field goal, touchdown. I mean, Northwestern's opening field goal off the opening turnover on the kickoff return. They're lucky that wasn't a touchdown, let alone, that's 3 points they gave them. Really, Penn State's field goal to begin the game to tie it should have been a touchdown. Touchdown after, it was 10-10 at halftime. Really should have been like 14, 10-7, if not less than that. But it was 10-10, 17-10, 20-10, 27-10. With Northwestern with their quarterback going down. Hopefully he's okay. Kicked the field goal. And then Penn State scored not once but twice more, and that's all she wrote, 41-13, your final score. So, technically, they've scored in 32 straight quarters. 12 consecutive games of at least 30 points or more. 10 straight games winning by at least 14 points or more. They did trail. They did turn the ball over. They made up for it, though, in the long run. So they're still plus 11 in the turnover margin. Total as a team was first in the country entering today. We'll see what that stat line is after this weekend. Total defense, they're only allowing 219 to opponents. Total yardage to Northwestern today was $175. Penn State had them by almost 200 yards. So that stood. What else we got here? Averaging only giving up 8 a game. They gave up 13 today. So from the 15 week 1, the 7 week 2, the 13 week 3, the goose egg by the Hawkeyes last week, laying an egg for sure, and then another 13 today. They're only giving up less than 2 scores a game. Well, they're averaging more than, scoring more than 30 in 12 consecutive games, but they're averaging 40 a game, and they scored 41 today. So do the math. You're winning by 3-4 scores. They're playing damn good football for the most part in every category. They still just have a lot to clean up, though, because it's still early. There's still a lot of football to be played. They're 5-0. One more win, they're going to a bowl game, which, knock on wood, they should get in 2 weeks coming off of the bye week. That's what I said last week, from Iowa to Northwestern, okay? And then you have a bye, and then UMass. You really have 2-3 weeks to get ready for Ohio State. So we'll see come October 21st how they're playing. But now, after a 41-13 win at Northwestern, you got the bye week. Penn State does not play next week. So I will not have live watch-along reactions live here on YouTube. But I will have a college football update, so stay tuned. So after that, then you host UMass for homecoming. Like I said, it's a Odd non-conference game, middle of the year. It's just how the schedule shook out, though, because they started Big Ten play a week earlier than they normally do, and then the bye weeks, in between. That's why. But they're healthy for the most part. Knock on wood. We had a couple guys go down today, but continue to move on. They got to be more consistent on some things. They got a lot to clean up, but once again, you don't get too far ahead of yourself. It's still one game at a time. It's 1-0 mentality. It's next man up mentality with the injuries. Hopefully they don't start to pile up, but they're in a good spot. They are. It was slow early, but then they found a groove. They found some rhythm, and they almost put a 45 down on Northwestern. They scored 41 and beat them 41-13. So yeah, they're, like I said, averaging about 40 a game, giving up less than 2 scores. So as long as that keeps up, with how solid the defense is, they're scoring points offensively. I don't get the play calling late, though. Like, why the fuck are you throwing the ball, with a 2-3 score lead, with a couple minutes to play? Like, just run the fucking football. But yet they score twice more after that still. Cameron got run over a couple times, I might add, too. But we'll see if they're in the injury report for next week or not. But they're now 15-1 on September the 30th. So the cat got drug in, and it was the Lions beating the Cats. Penn State over Northwestern 41-13 once again. So we will go eat some deep dish pizza. But part of the interruption, here are your stats. I would like individual stats if I could. Yes, thank you. Box score. Then we'll get into the team stats. Northwestern in the loss. Ben Bryant, 14-25, 122 yards passing. Injured in the fourth quarter, though. Did not return. Brendan Sullivan, 2 of 6, 8 yards in the interception to Daquan Hardy. Penn State, Bo Prabula, 1 of 1, 30 yards and touchdown Trey Potts. But Drew Aller was 18-33, 189 yards and a touchdown. His touchdown was to Nick Singleton. Prabula, as mentioned, was to Potts. So they got the running backs involved in pass game and they both scored. And then Penn State had 3 rushing touchdowns as well. 1 to Singleton, 1 to Potts, and of course Aller had the quarterback sneak. Singleton led the way, 21 carries, 80 yards and a touchdown. The fat man, hopefully he's okay, was injured early, did not return. Ended 6 carries, 27 yards a day. Potts, 3 of 21 for a 7-yard average and a touchdown. Aller, 8 carries, a couple yards and a score as well. Brendan Sullivan, Northwestern's backup quarterback, was their team's leading rusher for 7 carries, 25 yards. So that doesn't tell you how the game went. I don't know what does. Kendra Lambert-Smith led Penn State in receiving, 4 catches, 86 yards. Singleton, as mentioned, had a touchdown, as did Potts. 6 of 39 in a score, 1 of 30 in a score. They got to get these tight ends more involved, though. They did last week, but I'm back to nothing again today. Tyler Warren, 2 of 25. Theo Johnson had 2 catches, 13 yards. Dante Cephas had 2 catches, 21 yards. And then Liam Clifford a catch for 6 yards. Seemingly, as they're still missing Harrison Wallace, he hasn't played in a couple weeks. Lambert Smith's the 1. Wallace, when he's healthy, is the 2. And now it's Cephas and Clifford and the tight ends, along with the running backs. Don't ask me where the other guys went, but they just haven't played. So, yeah, Penn State, opening play of the game. Kickoff return, they fumble it, Northwestern gets a field goal. Penn State with a field goal, Northwestern with a touchdown. So Penn State trailed not once, but twice today. Both first times on the season. And then, of course, they turned it over first this season as well, but they made up for it, the interception later, so they evened out in that regard. But then they tied up 10 going into halftime. Then 17-10, 20-10, another field goal by Falcons. Scored again, gave a field goal, and then scored twice more. And once again, 41-13 is your final score. Defensively, they had 11 tackles, make it 12 tackles for loss, and officially 7 sacks. Kobe King had a sack. Zane Durant had a sack. Denai Dennis Sutton had a sack. Zariah Fisher had a sack. Adisa Isaac had a sack. And then Keziah Izzard and Amin Vanover had a half a sack each. So, Penn State's 52 tackles, 12 of them for loss and 7 of them for sacks. Falcons was 2 of 2 on field goals, one from 20, the other from 47, and 5 of 5 on extra points. But here's the team stats now. And this is what, after last week, was wow. Especially the time of possession. Which today, it was 32-08 to 27-52. So split down the middle for the most part. Penn State had 6 more penalties. Or 6 total penalties, 2 more than Northwestern. Both teams turned the ball over, but Northwestern got points off of Penn State. Well, no, yeah, they did get points off of that, right? Yeah, they scored on that Bo Perbillo touchdown. So, okay, turnovers evened out, and then Penn State scored more points off of them. So that average will go up for next week. Well, in 2 weeks, because they're off next week once again for a bye. But yeah, I mean, total yardage, Penn State 353, Northwestern 175. They're about 50% on third down, 8 of 17, 2 of 2 on fourth down, including a touchdown. But they had 219 yards passing, 134 yards rushing, compared to 130 and 45 respectively. So, I mean, what? 41-13 is, well, the over hit for that, it was 47. They about did that themselves. And then 41-13 is 27, 28. And the over-under, yeah, it's 28. The over-under was right at 26.5, 27, 27.5, depending on, you know, who you had the bet with. So I guess technically they covered, but they might not have for you. It depends. I don't know if they, you know, I'm sure they did. You know, I know it's a thing, run up the score. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite them in the ass. I just don't get why you're throwing like all that, you know, at the end of the game. Just fucking run the ball and work the clock. I get you want this, it's the style points. You know, you want to score as much as you can. But I mean, you had a 2-3 touchdown lead at that point. Like, there's no need to score anymore. Yet they did twice. So yeah, they look damn good. Hopefully they rest up. Hopefully they get healthy. We'll see how the UMass game goes. They're 1-0 all time against the Minutemen, playing them back in 14, blowing them out actually in Franklin's first year. Hard to believe now he's in his 10th year, and now we get him again on the schedule. But Don Brown's their head coach, former Michigan defense coordinator, in his second stint up there with all the massholes. And it's not going to be the British are coming, it's Penn State's coming. So we'll see how the game goes, but we'll see, you know, if it's a lot like West Virginia or Delaware in non-conference action, let alone in the 3 Big Ten games now. You know, okay, I mean, shit, today it was most points they scored in Big Ten play so far this season. Not the most they've scored all season. They scored 63. So it goes 63, 41, 38, 31, and 30 for the 5-0 start. But so they're averaging, you know, 40 a game, maybe a couple more points than that now, while only giving up less than 2 scores. They're in a good spot, but they still have a lot to work on. still a lot to clean up. Hopefully their best is in front of them, because you look at the schedule, like I said, they still got some tough opponents to play, and hopefully, beat, get over the hump, if you will, moving forward. So I'll leave it at that. I mean, there's not really much else to be said. I'm already a couple hours behind as it is. But, finally wrapping this game up, and Penn State's victorious over Northwestern. 41-13 is your final score. So, I guess that'll do it for myself. Your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96 live right here on YouTube. So, Penn State on bye week once again next week. So keep that in mind. Penn State does not play next week, at least in football. Other sports they are, but not in football. They're off. So I'm sure they'll keep their same schedule practice-wise. UMass games at 3:30, I believe, in 2 weeks. So we're right on par with how it's going to be 2 weeks from now anyway. Heard the Ohio State game is going to be at noon. And then we'll see about, Indiana and Maryland, let alone Michigan, which is also at noon. But then Rutgers and a Friday night Michigan State game on Black Friday, which will be here before you know it. Even though I shouldn't say that, because the football season will be over. Hell, for the most part, already halfway through the season. I mean, they're at the bye week. They're 5-0. So, we'll see where they go from here, what happens. Hopefully, you'll be along for the ride. Thanks for tuning in today, even afterwards, with the delay on my end, as I was not home once again this morning. But we picked it up live from the start. Once we started this stream, 2:30, 3 o'clock. And, here a couple hours later, Penn State's still victorious as they were a couple hours ago, and will be in the next week, let alone the following week, because they're off next week. So they can celebrate this win and then get back to work. But just as always, thanks for tuning in and watching. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. I'll see everybody tomorrow for more coverage live right here on YouTube. And then next weekend, and the week after, and the week after that, and days, weeks, months to come, be sure to subscribe. The specific date is, in fact, on social media. Links in the description below. So, once again, we are Penn State and the Alliance. Beat the Wildcats of Northwestern officially 41-13, your final score here today. So, I'll see everybody in 2 weeks for more Penn State football, as it'll be homecoming against UMass. But today they take care of business after being down 3-0, tying at 3, down 10-3, tying at 10 at halftime, and then it was all Penn State in the second half. And your final score, once again, 41-13. Penn State defeats Northwestern.